11th annual IeSF World Championships. Here we have some Tekken 7 action for you today. We're on day 3 and we'll have the semi-finals starting off, and a bit of a change from yesterday. We're going into that first of 5 format, aka the best of 9. Our first match today, we're just setting up now, will be the Philippines versus Japan. We have Dojin versus Take. These two players had a very strong showing yesterday. I was watching some of their matches after the stream ended. I wanted to see how, try to further analyze what they were doing. And I noticed that, they were... So Take obviously favors that reserved style, but at the same time, he's not scared to be, aggressive when he needs to be. But Dojin, he's always got a very interesting style depending on the matchup. And I feel like it depends on the character he plays. Off stream yesterday, he actually played Panda.
Disgusting.
He played Panda versus Bode from Italy, versus who was playing Julia. So he's throwing out every character right now, seeing if it works. And he won the set where he's playing Panda.
He did end up having to switch out the... What was the gentleman's name that he played?
Bode.
Bode. So Bode forced him to switch to Claudio, actually, after a few games. So I think that was like 4-3, 4-2, something like that. So he did start with Panda. I watched a little bit of that, and I was like, what is happening there? There was a big crowd watching that, and they had no idea what was going on. Could have been a counter pick, could have been something, but knowing Dojin, he's just like, yeah, I feel like this one today.
When I tuned into that match, I just saw him getting a counter hit with the second hit of down back 1-2. and I was like thinking to myself, when was the last time I saw this move counter hit? And it was very interesting to see him play Panda, because it's a very different style to what we're seeing, especially with Rangchu, who's the prominent Panda player these days in Tekken. At any rate, we will have the match starting very soon. I wanted to mention, so both of these players have played a few characters. Take yesterday showing that Steve, showing that Kazumi. I think at the start he was going with that Steve. He wanted to play versus, Steve is probably better versus a player who wants to turtle. But he brings out that Kazumi, to control the match and to actually enforce his game plan in neutral much more so than he did with Steve. So I think the way he plays Kazumi might be better versus Dojin here. How do you feel about that?
I couldn't say for sure. Like, definitely, Dojin's style is very dynamic. So he can mix it up whatever way he needs to. I think a lot of the time, his style is reflected in what character he's using. Like, his style of the match comes out in the character. So if he's feeling today, okay, say Take uses Kazumi, he's like, okay, this kind of matchup, I need to play like this. He'll go with character XYZ. So we'll see what characters they choose. They should be popping up soon.
Dojin did mention, he actually said that he wants to play Ganryu.
Yeah, he did. Yes,
he did on day 1, if I'm not mistaken. But at the same time, if he does bring it out, I wonder how much experience Take has against that character. Because we've seen that character is quite effective. He's pretty strong now. And, even though you do have some legacy experience versus him, there's changes to frames, changes to the animations, changes to, the overall game plan of the character. And obviously he has that new stance, which, gives him more opportunities to mix up the opponent.
In fact, legacy knowledge might hurt him a little bit, because in it's a first of 5, but still it's a relatively short set compared to, playing casuals for a long time and learning a character. Those little muscle memory bits that may look like an advantage, like, okay, I remember this string, I remember this, duck this, step this, that could cause him an issue. And we see in Elisa.
So,
wow, okay.
This is a character Dojin has been playing as of late. As I mentioned on day 1, that he had played this character at the most recent tournament, Grand Finals in the Philippines. He ended up losing that match, but he showed that he really understands this character and can play her at a high level. So we're going into this first game. Take versus Dojin. We're in the arena. We got Kazumi versus Alyssa. We saw this matchup yesterday with Take versus Wowzer.
Yeah, Take definitely understands this matchup and knew exactly what he needed to do. But Dojin is a different player, different style, and completely the opposite of Wowzer. He's extremely aggressive. He just swung for the fences that first round.
So if Take remembers the situations from the match versus Wowzer, he's going to be phased slightly by how aggressive Dojin approaches this matchup.
But definitely it's a first of 5, as we mentioned, so he has a lot of time to adjust.
A lot of time.
Because we may see multiple character changes. Both of them use many characters. So
I'm curious to see how Take builds up the mind game from that down forward one, especially at the wall. And we see that hop kick hit him straight out of that down back four. Gets the combo into the chainsaw mix-up.
Oh, here we go. Chopping some wood. Man, it just follows you everywhere.
Decided not to use the rage drive. Could have gotten extra damage there, saving it for this situation here. One hit away, goes for that down 3 into the 1.
Oh, went for it there. Hail Mary right there, didn't work out.
2 rounds straight for Dojin.
Take, you can see in his style right now, he's just having a bit of trouble adjusting to this pace and just these moves that Dojin is using. It's pretty intense right now. I would struggle in this too, it's crazy.
We see that Dojin is stepping to the left. I think he's expecting jabs because in certain situations you can step and walk into his jabs to the left, especially with Alyssa who has an excellent sidestep and sidewalk. But you have to avoid her downfall one to the right, so I don't think he's scared of that in neutral right now. Both players close to about getting rage. 30 seconds left on the clock.
Alright, Take's trying to slow this down, forcing Dojin to slow down as well. Trying to play his game. So let's see if this goes back in the favor of Take.
Does have access to that rage drive, pushing Take to the wall with the chainsaw. Puts him in rage, gets that punish into the rage drive and the chip damage. What's the mix up here? And goes for the shoe shine. Finishes the first game with 3 rounds straight in his favor. Dojin takes it over Take.
Damn. That was, I'm sure Take was expecting, alright, we're going to reset the situation real quick, push him against the wall, take a little bit of chip damage, one more poke and I got this. But Dojin's like, nah, I'm out of here, boys. This is Air Elisa, we're gone. Well, that was a pretty strong first game, honestly.
Well, you can't ask for a better start.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we're going into the second. Oh, I caught him pressing buttons on the second hit. Some people do try to punish the first hit of back forward is -12 on block. And if you do, there's those follow-ups.
Ooh, evaded both of those punches there.
Down 3, trying to pressure him at the wall.
Oh,
flies
wall flip.
away and gets the wall splat. Drops the combo, goes into the shoe shine. Using those plus frames. Take pushing towards the wall. Commits to the second hit. He could have gotten the while standing 1-2 into the chainsaw. Decided to go for the while standing 4 for the plus frames.
Yeah, Dojin consistently trying to check Take. He knows he's going to step, he knows he's going to try to avoid everything. Just throws out the tracking moves and just makes sure he's aware of it.
That was an excellent crouch jab by Dojin to stifle the pressure from Take's offense. Really well done there, allowed for a comeback with that shoe shine. Dojin on 4 rounds straight right now, playing really well on this Elisa.
With the back 2. Oh, counter hit magic 4.
Caught him pressing buttons on -9. Will carry to the wall with that power crush. Using this shoe shine so effectively. It's one of Alyssa's best moves. You have to use it in neutral, and Dojin's just found the timing where Take can't block it. Abusing it and trying to start up his offense. Gets the hop kick, and this should be it.
Damn. Damn, 2. There's that 5 rounds?
Yes, 5 rounds straight. Look, he's looking extra clean this morning.
Damn, alright.
There's the shoe shine. First on block, no punish there by Take.
Pushed up in the jab. Alright, Take trying to make his way back. Here we go. Momentum starting up. Let's see what he can do here. No reverse from the tackle.
Decides to stay down, gets hit by that down 3. Take with wall pressure once again. Will Dojin do the wall jump to get away? Using buttons, push him away from the wall. Doesn't want to deal with the mix-up. Goes for the chainsaws. Nice step by Take into the punish.
Kicks him while he's down.
Rage drive is used. Goes for the mix-up. Hits the low. Take trying to take his first round here. Can he do it? Dojin with the shoe shine. Ooh. Not respecting the +5 frames.
Sometimes he can't, man. You just got to go for it. And it worked out.
If he did, he'd have to deal with the mix-up from Chainsaw, and that's not what you want to be doing in that situation. Nice punish there by Dojin.
Are out. You think he has a side job as a lumberjack or something? He's got double swords, man.
I mean, why not?
Yeah, exactly, right?
To be efficient, to say the least. Gets to the back with that 1-2-2 punish.
Very nice.
Take slowing things down, moving away from the wall, expecting the wall jump perhaps. Pushing the...
Nice. Reverse controls there.
Nice break by Dojin. Dojin does have rage once again. Will we see that rage drive come out? Or will he mind game with the lows? And here the lows come out. Finally punishes the shoe shine.
Oh, the rage drive.
To the low once again. Take's reads right now are so on point. I think he's picked up on a few things Dojin is doing. And just as we say, that gets that counter for, should carry to the wall here. What's the combo? Goes for that 1+2 and into the Tiger. And does have wall position once again. Dojin needs to get out of here. He's being pressured to death.
Press the button.
Doesn't get the flip over Oki.
Oh, 7 golden letters. Take, what a beast! What a comeback!
Just bringing it straight back.
Yeah, that was sick.
So unfazed by that momentum that Dojin had going for him.
I think definitely Kazumi is one of those characters. Once you get information, you can just start making those little decisions that just make it look like a wash the other way.
And we're going straight into the rematch. Dojin sticking with that IeSF pick.
Alright, let's see. So what do you think it is that Take saw in Dojin that is?
He just started blocking lows.
Yep.
Yeah, in the first game, he didn't really block the lows. He didn't have the timing on when Dojin would do them or the reads. And I think later on he picked up on the fact that he's just Dojin's throwing out lows to make him, you know, duck because he wants to commit to mids. I think we'll see a lot more mids, big mids now from Dojin, and we just saw 2 there.
Oh yeah, we're coming. Yeah, he's testing his eye. You gonna duck?
See, there's the step on the jabs from Kazumi.
Oh, Kazumi hop kick right there. Classic.
The exquisite range on that hop kick. Okay, in rage, we see the rage drive. Goes for the down back four. See, these players at this level, when they have rage, they use the mind game so well. It's almost never like they never think about just using the rage drive, and you can't think about that. You have to make your thought process more than one-dimensional to use it effectively. And see, the lows are being blocked every time now. Take has picked up on that timing.
Dojin needs to switch that up real quick if he wants to bring this one back. Woo, look at these blocks.
Dojin in range, as it seems like he's been in every single round thus far.
Again?
See, he's blocking all the lows now. I think Take's just picked up on the read on when Dojin likes to go low.
Oh, well. He picked up on that. He's going to press it that time.
Goes for that down 3. Can he close it out? 1 hit away. Dojin, no rage left. Can still make a comeback. 1 combo is all it takes. Goes for that back one high
mix-up.
Nice low parry by Dojin.
Excellent. That was clutch.
Gets the combo and ties it up at 1 round apiece in this 3rd game against Take. One thing I've noticed with Take is when he has pressure at the wall and he's got Dojin with his back to the wall, he doesn't really like to overcommit because he knows Kazumi's options in Season 3 are limited for wall game, especially with back 2 not being a wall split anymore. He's giving him a chance to get out and then he'll push him towards that so that he feels pressured and might do a panic button like a hop kick or something, and then he'll get an opportunity to wall split.
He knows what he's doing. Like,
he might get him to the wall here with that power crush. Does have rage.
Oh,
Taps him out of it.
Crunch, double one. There we go. Woo!
Very effective way to deal with spring kicks on wake up. Take aware of that, takes that round. See, Take's throwing in more moves now, bringing out that 2-1. One of the moves Kazumi can use to track towards the weak side.
Crushing below there, taking to the wall. Let's go. Alright, got him at the wall, at a weird corner, so this could be bad for Take. Okay, unsafe, gets punished, gets out of there.
Using that down 3 to maybe catch a jab timing, get one of those counter hits that he's been needing so desperately.
Finally ducked it, punish that one.
Once again, Take does have wall pressure. See, he just backs out. He expects that wall jump.
Oh!
It was late on the punish! And Dojin capitalizes to the full extent, gets that rage drive punish on the Tiger, and takes the round. If he went for the down 2, that was it as well. Gets that low parry into the combo. We'll get to the wall here with the 3, 5, 4, 4.
Okay. What are you going to do? He's trying to step a little bit just to make sure Dojin stays at the wall. Gets splattered there. Again, just not letting him get out of there. He wants him right there where he wants.
See, now he's finally committing to that wall pressure. He's like, I'm not going to let you get out. But Dojin gets out at his own will with that rage drive. And he has a chance to come back here. All it takes is 1 launch, and that down 3+4 generic low to take it out. Take with a 2-1 lead right now in this 1st to 5 against Dojin.
Woo! That's good. Wow. This is a big turnaround. But they're getting close. See, it started going from one-sided to now it's getting really close again.
I feel like Dojin is comfortable in this IeSF. I don't think we'll see a character select. If we do, I don't know who's going to pick. But we do have a long set. This is a 1st to 5. You can test many things. As we saw in the first game, Take lost the first game 3-0. He didn't get a single round.
Yep.
And then with the information that he got from that one game, you know, he's taken advantage of it and he's won the 2nd and 3rd game. And he's bringing out that Ganry that he said he wanted to play. Now, I have no idea how this matchup works out.
Time to learn some
and
stuff.
I don't think Dojin does either. We're going into this fourth game.
Let's go. Alright, Ganryu fans, hope you're learning something.
One thing to note about Ganryu is his neutral is very different to other characters because his generic jab is 12 frame startup, but it's actually +3 on block. So it creates so many situations that other characters don't have access to. And I think that might be hard for Kazumi to deal with because she wants to start a lot of her offense with jab pressure.
His range is excellent with that. The palm is just reaching a very large distance.
There's a lot of moves I would imagine Kazumi can't punish consistently versus Ganryu. And this character has excellent mix-ups. Goes for that down forward 3. That down forward 3 is actually a I-16 +5 low. One of the better lows in the game.
Pushing him away. Oh.
Gets the counter. This might be it.
That should be
Jab into the rage drive.
1+2.
Gets the Tiger to take it. Nice comeback there by Take.
Round 2. Fight.
So with this stage change, we went from having the arena to this stage. It's very similar in structure, but at the same time, it's slightly smaller. So I feel like it doesn't really benefit either character. Dojin going with that Ganryu, and Ganryu does have excellent wall carry. See, there's that jab, using it to full effect.
Lows coming out. Overhead. Okay, yeah. Take very strong in the movement department, just keeping out of range of the down forward 3 with it. So he doesn't want to get hit by that. As you mentioned, it's plus for Dojin if he hits it, so does not want to be there.
Dojin with his back to the wall. I feel like this is where he does his best work. He knows what to do with his back to the wall.
Oh.
Okay, doesn't commit to the full punish. And the wild standing 1-2.
Alright, let's go, Take.
Fully commits to it and gets that whoop that to take the round. Take up 2 rounds here in this fourth game. Nice punish on the low. Just poking with single hits, not even using the second hit, just mind gaming Dojin right now, pushing him to the wall with these pokes, and there hasn't been a single combo yet. And the back to 3 rounds straight for Take. I think right now Take is in the zone.
Oh yeah.
You know, he's figured out something. He's just thinking about everything Dojin has done so far. He's like, I understand what he wants to do. I'm just gonna play my game and understand where he might want to change things up, and I'll deal with it as best as I can. Right now, this Kazumi pick is working out so well for him. And it's I'm really glad he didn't end up changing after losing the first game. Some people would have done that. But because this is a longer set, as we mentioned earlier, you have more time to condition your opponent. You have more time to build mind games and build situations where, you know, you create favorable situations for yourself. I think Take has done that really well so far.
It's excellent work. And I've noticed that he's using just single 3 a lot to poke.
Yes.
Like, you don't see that too often. Well, I don't see that too often anyway. Where he's mixing it up. Single 3, maybe it gets the opponent to think, okay, what are they gonna follow up? Are they not gonna follow up? And they just hesitate for a second. He's out of there, come back with more pokes. But let's see if Dojin. I'm sure Dojin will change character after that. I could be wrong, but yeah. Okay. The Sydney special. Okay, here we go.
This is
the viewership might have just jumped up to.
This is a new character for Dojin this tournament, I believe.
Is it?
I haven't seen him play Madak yet.
I feel like I saw him play Madak in a grand final against AK.
So a really interesting situation in this matchup is after Kazumi's wall combo, which does a flip over spike, it leaves Madak in a position where he can 50-50 Kazumi. The one option Kazumi has to completely deal with that is generic low. Madak cannot get out of it. If he takes either side, it will be blocked. So let's see if the situation arises in this. I'm sure it will, but how will Dojin deal with it? Will Take know how to deal with that 50-50 on wake up after the wall combo? And Take is poking away at him right now. Take seems like he does not care about getting combos. He'll just poke at you, and when he feels like you want to button, he'll get that standing full counter hit. And I think it's worked out for him so well so far.
That's a mark of one of the highest level players, you know, just chip, see that blood in the water, go for it.
Going for that 4-1+4, a classic round ender for Madak players.
Oh, the chip.
Not enough, goes to the rage drive.
Very
and at that distance, rage drive is not plus. It does not guarantee a mix.
Round 2.
Take recognizes that and finishes the round with that down 3.
Yeah, for all you guys that don't know, Marduk's tackle varies in properties at different ranges. Sometimes you can Punish it fully with a launch if it's far enough, and when it's close enough, you gotta wait for that mix-up to happen.
Dodging in rage once again. It's only been 15 seconds, and Take just whittling away at his life. Goes for that quarter circle push, trying to get those plus frames, and Take just scoots out of there.
Round 3.
Strays into the left side, avoids that second low, and gets the round.
I'd definitely like to see Dojin play a bit more dirty and see how that goes for him. He's playing super solid right now in terms of just fundamentals.
We haven't seen a single tackle.
Yeah.
I feel like he has to.
Oh, wow.
And,
What?
okay, talk about playing dirty. You know, bringing out them lows, that down 4, the knee that can't be low carried, I-40 low. Very well done there by Dojin. He's just using all his kicks right now. Get that back 4 on check, on deck.
Here we go, staggering the timing.
See, there's that counter hit 4 timing Take was looking for. I still want to see a tackle. I feel like he's scared to commit. I think he thinks Take is waiting for it or something. Goes for the hell sweep.
Even when the tackle's broken, Marduk's not at a really poor position, so it's not too bad.
Using that forward, trying to get a timing.
Oh,
And there's the
wow.
this should be it.
Yep.
Leslie dropped the combo. This might be just enough. To ensure a kill there, he might have not wanted to break the balcony, but he gets it regardless. Take on absolute
Wow.
fire right now. He's up 4-1 against
That's great.
Dojin.
One more
Once
game
again,
and
ladies
he's
and gentlemen, this is single elimination. The loser of this is out.
Yep.
And we're here on day 3. All matches will be best of 9, aka first of 5. Dojin on Dojin on his last life right now. Will we see him go to one of his trusty characters? He's shown that he likes to play the Shaheen. You know, that's a very popular character in the Philippines. Or will he go to that character, the character that he always loved, that Lars picked? You know, it's a character we don't see him play anymore, but he said many a time that that's his favorite character in the game, and he wishes that he can play him. You know, Lars a lot better in Season 3 than he was in previous seasons. Some people have brought him out, you know, in competitive play, especially in TWT. We've seen a lot of Lars at this event. Will Dojin add to that and pick the Lars? But at this point, it's any character. Dojin just taking a deep thought right now, thinking what would be the best option for him.
Whichever character he uses, that's it. He's going to have to lock it in for the next potential 4 games. So I hope whoever he chooses, like, he's feeling that today. Alright, back to this, alright.
Back to the Alyssa.
He must be feeling it.
See, this is the character that he stuck with to the end at the Filipino tournament as well. So I think he trusts his Alyssa in this matchup. We're going into that Forgotten Realms, so we do have floor breaks now.
Alright, let's go.
The one thing to note about Alyssa with this stage is a lot of her options that lead into distraction stance, and they have distraction stance down 1, they become launches for the floor breaks.
Damn, Take was ready for that high. He just round started, ducked, launched, boom, with a hop kick as well.
Goes for that 4. Both players with the wall to their right. See, in that situation, you cannot... Oh my days, look at this damage. We'll get that standing 4 slightly off for the kill. Take in rage, can he bring it back? Trying to pressure with that 4-3, keeping him in check. 30 seconds left on the clock. He has a lot of time to work with. Dojin doesn't want to overcommit, playing very patiently. Knows that the rage drive will kill him. Gets that down back 3 to close it out. Finally stops the momentum that Take has going into this potential last game. Take using that down forward 1 to keep Dojin in check. Nice break on the throw there.
Flash punch combo, going in. Oh, what's the attempt?
And that back 3 with Alyssa. A very strong mid, safe, homing move. It does high crush and has excellent pushback. So if your opponents do try to retaliate, you can backdash and create a situation where you get a whiff punish. Dojin playing much slower than previously with Alyssa pick.
So it's really hard to continue to play at that pace. Like, the pace he had in that first game was intense. Like, in a first to 5, like, you keeping that up is very hard. Because
I think you want to start off like that, because you trick your opponent thinking you're going to play like that the entire way, and then you slow things down, and you just wait for the mistakes to happen. And there's that floor break again. Goes for the OQ with that while standing 1, 2, 3.
Take's steps are just on point in any spacing, just staying just out of the range of the chainsaw, getting ready to punish.
I feel like Take is so good at pushing Dojin to the wall. It's either that or Dojin is letting him because he wants to do something. Maybe a throw to switch aside. Regardless, right now Take at the wall himself. He does have rage. End that down into the low.
Wow.
And he had the read. He's been blocking those since after the first game. He's not having any of that. Take, well, is on potentially the set point. Dojin on his very last life, 1 round left, could be the last one for him in this tournament here in IeSF 2019. Take sidestepping, using all the moves he has in his arsenal to try and close it out here. Chipping away with that down back 3. Caught him stepping with the homing move, goes for the cross frame. Sorry, the running 2. And now pressuring him. Take with his back to the wall right now.
Here we go. Take want to take this out.
Ooh, Dojin, he wasn't scared at all. Take has shown that he will block those blows. And Dojin, no fear. And it worked out for him.
Wow.
Walks to the back and gets the punish. Good punish on that wall bounce. Many players don't punish that move because they're not used to the changes. It was a safe move before.
Dojin using chainsaws more than any other player we've seen so far.
Yeah, so far, definitely. He's not pressing any buttons right now. He's playing really, really scared. Dojin in a position where he has to do something. Rage Drive is used. And Take with the 3-2 with punish takes it over Dojin 5-1. Japan over the Philippines. Very well done by Take. Showing very, very solid play. The resilience to come back from losing the first 3 rounds and adapt your game in that kind of scenario. Very well done. Sorry, go on.
No. Every time Dojin was even near the wall, you would watch Take just walk with him. And like in that last round, Dojin needed to use his rage drive just to get away. Just like if he hadn't, he would have died at the wall. He ended up losing somewhere else. But I saw that he was just every time Dojin tried to step away, Take would follow that entire set, and that's extremely frustrating. Like you can't get around your players, your opponent. It's incredible.
The way Take plays is just so oppressive at some point that you feel like your options are limited.
Yeah.
And because of that, you make mistakes. Sometimes you feel like, you know, there has to be a low coming at this timing, and you do a hop kick or something, or like you sidestep the low expecting it, and then something completely different comes out, and it just throws you off guard. Very well done there by Take. Dojin bows out at 4th place here at IeSF 2019. That was our first best of 9 match. We will have another one coming up after the break. We will have Finland versus South Korea. We'll have Joblix versus Knee. Stick around for more Tekken 7 action. We'll be back after this short break.
See you then. World Championships in Seoul, and brought to you by IeSF. We've got a spicy match for you coming up. I know I say that every time, but it just keeps getting better. So this is this is like 4 chilies, right, on the time menu. Yesterday was 3. This is 4. So we've got Finland versus South Korea, and we have Jopilex versus Knee. Knee did some work yesterday. Like he came up against Anakin, and I thought that may have gone Anakin's way, but Knee just snuffed it out towards the end, and that was the end of it. But Jopilex, he's been doing pretty well. Like at Evo, he beat Super Kuma, he beat Saint, and he beat a bunch of people. He made like top 16?
I don't remember, but he did quite well, yes.
Yeah, excellent. So these are both extremely strong players. Obviously, Knee is the favorite, but Jopilex is no stranger to upset, so we'll see how this one goes. He'll probably be using Claudio. Knee, I don't know. Knee, you can flip a coin, you know, heads or tails, and it'll land on its side. You don't know what's going to happen.
Something interesting to note is Knee used Geese yesterday in his matchup for against Anakin. And on that match, I should say, that was probably one of the best match we've had so far. So Knee coming off a very decisive win over Anakin, one of the favorites for this tournament. Both of these players have actually played Leroy in this tournament. So will we see that character come out? Knee and Jopilex both played him, but I feel like that was to catch their opponents off guard. Since both of them play the character, they might understand it better. So I don't think we might see that. I don't think we will see that character. But I think Jopilex obviously going to stick with that Claudio. Definitely his best character. Definitely his most successful character. Knee obviously has that Paul. He has that Steve. He has that Geese. Those are his triple threat right now. Which one is coming out?
Well, I'm gonna have to see. Like, what do you think though? If it's a Claudio versus something matchup,
I think Steve.
Steve.
I think he's gonna go for Steve.
Pretty good. Again, I'm always rooting for those machines, but we'll see how we go.
But then again, he could just throw, you know, a spanner in the works and just throw a random character at us.
Ganryu. Xiao Yu.
Saving that character for finals or something.
Alright, let's see.
So this is Finland versus South Korea. This is our second match here in semi-finals. This is a first to 5 or a best of 9, if you will.
Is he wearing a different hoodie?
Oh, no.
I don't think that's a national hoodie. Oh!
The crowd
Let's go!
favorite
Let's go!
goes with the Brian pick.
My boy. Alright, this got exciting real quick. Alright, Abandoned Temple, Claudio versus Brian. Let's see some taunts, boys.
This is the character that people know Brian for.
Knee, right?
Yes. Yes. They know knee, sorry.
Yeah,
Brian.
that's the thing, they're the same thing.
They're the same thing. They're one and the same. They're synonymous.
Alright, this, honestly, I think this is a lot of players' dream, to verse Knee's Brian in a tournament. And not just any tournament. It's IeSF, first till 5. This is going to be a tough one, but damn, this is going to be some good tech.
And Knee has always said Brian is one of those characters that's really good in long sets. That's why we don't see him in shorter sets. Probably because of the way Knee likes to approach the game.
But
let's see what he does here, because I'm very curious how he approaches this long set with Brian. I feel as if he's going to stick with his character throughout the whole way, but we'll have to see. Knee off to a great start. Joplix uses that rage drive, does have wall pressure, goes into the plus frame, and caught Knee pressing buttons on -6.
Okay.
Joplix cashes in, gets that wall split and the first round in his favor.
yeah, that round really started in Knee's favor. I thought he was going to take it. So many downfall ones. But Joplix is like, no, I'm done. You're done. You're done with it. I'm coming back.
See, the very first time he used the down forward 1 there, he used forward 3 after, he did it there again, and that's the test timing, and to check them with mental frame advantage, because obviously he got follow-up to that down forward 1, there we see he uses those follow-ups. So he's continuing to mind game this early in the set with that down forward 1, gets that hatchet to close out the round, ties it up for 1 round apiece. So I want to see how this down forward 1 mind game progresses. Right now, we've seen him check for mental frame advantage with that forward 3, and obviously commit to the successive hits. No punish there on that back 3-3 with Claudio.
Oh, that's a big win.
With Claudio in general, you want to play at a range where if your opponent whiffs anything, hop kick is a punish. If you have Starburst, you have obviously access to that launcher, mid-mid. And there we see that hop kick, excellent combo from Joplix. Gets countered with the back 1. He should get him to the wall here.
Oh, he's going for them taunts.
He drops the combo early, scared that the Axis was going to make the down back 1 plus 2 whiff. Joplix in rage once again. How's he going to make use of this? Knee keeping up those plus frames, and the hop kick comes out. Down forward 1, doing so much work for Knee so far this early on in the set. Gets the hatchet. I think that's a male only combo. And the adjustment by Joplix to the left to get the conversion there.
Oh, didn't let her rip. Still got the Starburst though.
You don't want to use it straight away. You want to mind game with it. Eventually they might forget about it, and there you go. You get that pre-launch. Joplix still does have that Starburst, and Knee not letting him use it, pressuring him, so he doesn't have to do with the mix-up. There's another hop kick interrupted by Knee, trying to dash up, get some pressure, and pushing Joplix to the wall right now. But he works his way out with that low parry.
Double knees, let's go. Oh, let's her rip that time. He loaded that gun up many times in this round and just did not let her rip.
Woo! The trade.
Oh, drops it. Still alive.
Of the combo.
Oh, man.
He just did it. 2 rounds straight, won by Hatchet Kid. I mean, you know, he's got to read that Joplix doesn't want to duck in the clutch. Takes
Brian,
it.
am I
3
right?
rounds to 1. Very well done there by Knee. So far what we've noticed is Knee's using down forward 1 a lot. He's keeping him in check because he knows down forward 1 will beat hop kick. If he does down forward 1 into the follow-ups, obviously it will float out hop kick after any attempt. And when he sees that Joplix isn't doing anything, that down forward 1 becomes a move where you essentially freeze your opponent. You get those lows, you get extra situations where you can just check your opponent for what they want to do. And I think Knee's doing that really well with that down forward 1.
Alright, now we're geometric playing. Got some sick walls for Brian to do some weird stuff with. So let's see if he can get that done. Everyone's just waiting for the dodge it up, but this is Brian's, Knee's signature. So hopefully we'll see some of that today, but Joplix got a lot to worry about here.
Joplix using those jabs. Claudio was one of the best jab strings in the game in that 1-2. Gets that 3+4 knockdown. There's a situation on that 3+4 knockdown. If they stay down, you can dash and refloat with down back 2. If they tech, and the Brian players knows the situation, they can obviously set up a taunt situation where they get free follow-ups. Commits to the full string, nice punish by Joplix.
Oh, finally hits that forward 3.
This will be big damage. Brian gets huge damage from any counter.
Whoa.
Baits out the rage art with the taunt and
Damn.
punishes correctly. Gets the round.
Round 2.
That's the thing with taunt, it takes 1 frame to cancel, so you can essentially do most of the animation. The moment you see a rage come out, you just tap back or forward or whatever and cancel it. No break on the 1+2 throw. A lot of players do like to use that while dashing with taunt forward because it hides the animation. Makes it a bit more difficult to break. Commits to the second hit, very good hit confirmed there by Joplix.
Caught him in the air.
Kick. And Knee is using 3+4 as the main tool to stop hop kicks on negative frames. We saw it earlier after forward 1+2, 1+2, he used 3+4. Obviously, if Claudia does any buttons, he'll get counter hit launched. Knee on his last leg, and back 1 to close it out. Claudio's back one's actually one of his best moves. It's -5 on block. It does a ton of damage for a homing mid. And there's that down forward one to float the hop kick. Knee is so ready for that. He knows the exact timing you want to use that down forward one, and for the exact reason, using back 1 this time to keep him in check. Just out of range for that 1+2. Whoop, he went for another hop kick. See, the timing on these hop kicks, I think only one has hit so far. Knee is just waiting for it. And just as we say that, there it is. The commentator's curse at its finest. Drops the combo. Can Knee bring it back? He does have rage. 1 hit is all it takes, and 1 hit is all it took for Joplix as well. The down 3 to take it. 2 rounds to 1 in his favor right now over Knee in this second game. Here we have in the semifinals. Back 1 with the knockdown, goes for the running tackle. No break by Knee. Goes for 2 hits.
Oh, dashing his face.
Because Knee is playing so defensively and not trying to overcommit, Joplix has the luxury to dash in his face, maybe to see when he will button. But regardless, gets a counter hit. Caught Knee pressing buttons in that situation.
More hit. Oh.
No break again. That's a 100% hit rate right now.
Oh.
He stayed on the ground, did not want to deal with that rage drive. Knee had a read on it, goes for the ground hitting mid and ends that round. Ties it up 2 rounds apiece right now.
Wow, look at these. Oh, catches him on the back.
That move can be launched by Brian. You've got to be ready with that jet upper. Knee just a bit too behind. Wasn't ready for it. Joplix does have Starburst once again. Will he use the mix-up straight off the bat? And there it is. That should be it. Leslie dropped the combo. Back 4-1. And the running 2 ends it. Joplix gets on the board.
1 apiece. Claudia versus Brian. That's amazing. I'm sure Brian... I keep saying Brian instead of Knee. I'm sure Knee will stick with this character though. It just feels like he's just going to live or die by it and just see how he goes. Alright, let's go. Ooh. Joplix feeling himself a little bit.
I feel like as the set progresses, we're going to see both players use more tools. And right now they're sticking to like maybe 3 or 4 main pokes or main tools to use in neutral. Joplix obviously really liking that back 1, really liking that back 3 and the jab strings. And Knee, that down forward 1 and the forward 3 just doing everything for him right now. And there's that down forward 1, the machine gun series.
That was like 80% of his health right
That was a lot of damage from that machine gun series there. And he's still using it to check timing, check mental frame advantage, and to counter hit him. Nice punish. That punish there is not actually 100% consistent. Claudio's most consistent punish for that is down forward 4. But Joplix recognized the range and gets the correct punish. Goes for that back 2 into the Starburst. 1 hit away from closing now. And there's that down 4. He recognized it might have been a bit further that time. Cashes in and punishes it correctly.
Yeah, Knee expecting Joplix to press a lot more buttons than he actually is, especially on the down forward 1 option, down forward 2 option, but just not getting it. Joplix is just being super patient, getting what he needs to get done.
I feel like when Knee is not on plus frames, where it's just neutral, he's scared to use back 1 because it's slow and he doesn't want to counter hit, hop kick, or just counter hit in general. He has used it in 2 times, once to check and once after plus frames. He's going to get him to the wall here. Goes for the double knees. Goes for Oki with that back 3 into the plus frames. Knee does have rage. Goes for the 4-3.
Back out there with the rage drive.
So he's waiting for something after down forward 1 now.
Just standing there. Oh, wow.
But what is he waiting for? That's what I want to know. Does he have a read on a crouch jab or a slow low or something? Because he's done that twice now. Once when Joplix was trying to close out and once at the start of the round. And there's that 3+4. Joplix back rolls out of there.
Coming in. He's feeling very confident right now. His movement shows that. No blue.
Oh, and the whiff punish on the hop kick. Knee's so ready for that. Gets into the 3-hit series. Very well done there by Knee. That's actually one of the harder links after the taunt. you only have 2 frames of leniency. 2 rounds apiece in this third game. Knee gets that counter, too far away for that dash jab combo.
Good duck there.
Joplix still favoring that back one. Done so much work for him in this set. Ducks that down back 4-3, but doesn't get a launch, still gets a punish. Joplix almost in rage, down to about 50% life. That back one still hitting, such a good tool for Claudio in neutral. Knee checking with that down 4-2, does not want to commit to the second hit. Nice break on the 2 throw there. Joplix finally breaks a 1+2 throw. And the back one, the timing on these back ones is so well placed by Joplix. And the hop kick uses the new Season 3 punish with that 4-3. 1 hit away, 12 seconds left on the clock.
Back 4.
Joplix does not have rage. He can still make a comeback. All it takes is 1 hop kick and the jab. Very well timed there by Knee to take a 2-1 lead in this first to 5 over Joplix. Joplix, you know, he has to be thinking about what he did well in that set and what he didn't do well. Right now, the main thing that's keeping him in the game is the timing on that back one. He's using it so effectively. And I feel like every time Knee comes in, maybe he's fuzzing, maybe he's doing a slow mid, or maybe he's just jabbing. That back one has good high crush, and I think when it hits, it's very effective because it leaves him at a range where Knee can only back roll. He doesn't want to stay down. Joplix will then further enforce a situation or a mind game in that situation.
We'll check in with those back threes. Nice block on the hop kick. Knee just having trouble breaking Joplix's offense this round. Excellent work. Here we go.
Doesn't yeah, 2-1 is actually -5 on block. It used to be unsafe, but players are using it a lot more these days.
Making his way back. Oh, and finally it comes out.
You hate to see it happen. Well, not if you're Knee.
Yeah, no.
Gets that back 1+2 rage drive. Perfect timing. Even though Joplix was waiting for it, Knee just had the read on the exact timing where he had to throw it out.
Dashing in his face. Confident.
Joplix finally incorporating that forward-4 into his neutral game. Feels like he needs an advancing mid rather than using the running for those plus frames. He's been playing more so. And gets the counter. This should be it.
Oh no!
The second he whiffs! And it doesn't matter. Knee with the generic blow to close it out.
Round 3.
I was saying he's playing a lot more of a keep-out oriented game against Knee. But I feel like now when he wants to go in, he's trying to add more jab series on an approach and use that forward 4. And look at this damage with the Oki as well. That was only 10 seconds already, and he's almost down to rage.
And there it is. Wow.
These forward 3s, the timing.
He wasn't able to hit them earlier in the set, but now they're just non-stop, just hitting.
And that game was like 2 minutes long.
Oh yeah.
Knee has obviously, you know, practiced what he preached. He's on to that point where he's saying Brian is a good long set character. He's gonna, you know, remember what's happened in previous situations. You know, I did this move, my opponent did this. I hit my opponent with this, my opponent did this, and he's cashing in on all those situations. He's getting the counter hits when he needs to, and I feel like that's what's stopping Joplix from getting his game started, and that's why he was forced to play that keep-out oriented playstyle. The moment he goes in, he feels a bit less confident in his buttons, and in that, Knee's just taking advantage of it. And Joplix bringing out the Feng. I remember him saying on Twitter for the past few months or so that he's been really enjoying this character, and he's bringing out that Feng. This is a character we don't really see that often these days. Many of the Feng aficionados, the old school players, have either moved on to other characters or don't really play the game anymore. So whenever we do see this character, it's a rare treat. The first time we saw this character at like really, really high level was in 2015, and it was Knee that was playing him in Tekken 7.
Feng for quite some time over that year.
He really liked that character. Oh, and he went for the Torn Jet Upper. Very, very difficult to do there. But Knee, obviously, one of the people that pioneered that series of events.
Yeah, he changed the way people played me for a little. Oh, sorry.
Played
God damn.
We're still going
Too many
with it.
characters. Yeah, I think he changed the meta of how people looked at Feng, how people played Feng. Like the back tempo style really came in after that. Damn, that was a good first round. 34 seconds.
I think back tempo is really good against Brian as well.
Yeah.
Because a lot of his tools like his forward 3, his hatchet,
Back
you know,
one.
yeah, back 1, that back tempo will avoid them. You see the whiff, you go for that launch, and you get big damage. Especially in this season, Feng has improved combos, has further wall carry.
Ooh, drops the combo there. The forward 4. He's taunt dances there.
the way he's taunting, people will think, oh, he's just, you know, BMing him. But the reason why you do that is because it looks like a move came out. And what happens is it forces your opponent to press a button, and then you get a counter because they're thrown off guard. They're not ready. They said to themselves, hey, a move came out. Oh wait, but I already pressed the button, and then they get counter hit. Knee up 2 rounds, 5 rounds straight at least for Knee, and gets the sidestep 4.
Classic.
This could be exactly what he needed. We'll get him to the wall,
Oh,
goes to the
nice
high
combo.
wall stack combo,
Double
and
bar.
the double shoulder.
Round 4.
Alright, coming back.
Fight.
Feeling a bit more comfortable now, maybe. Oh,
Sidesteps to the back.
That last hit is punishable if he doesn't charge it, right?
He just wasn't ready for it. Knee gets the combo from the while standing one. We'll get him to the wall here. Goes to that Oki ender. Wanted the taunt setup.
Oh.
And the wall bounce. This should be it. Knee with the 4-3-4 to close it out. Up 4-1 over Jopalix here. Jopalix, you know, perhaps not liking that Feng after all.
Will he change back to Claudio? Let's see.
I think the Claudio was working out really well at
Yeah.
the start, and then, as mentioned earlier, Knee just picks up on a few things. When a player of Knee's caliber picks up on certain things and he exploits them to the utmost, all you could do is say to yourself, you know what, I have to change the way I'm playing. If you don't, you're just going to get hit by the same thing over and over again. And if you do change it, it forces Knee to have to rethink his game plan as well. I think Jopalix is more than capable of doing that, and he does go back to that Claudio, back to his main character in that Mishima Dojo for what could be the last game in this first to 5.
Not for his sake though. Not for Joblex's sake. Oh, he's going with this costume.
Alright, this is the power up he needed.
Alright, let's go. I like the tassels and everything.
As mentioned earlier, look fresh, play
Play
fresh.
fresh.
Round
You gotta
1.
keep it clean. Bringing out that preset. Gets that counter into the dash jab.
Those are the hard combos.
Bit
But it's
too
me,
late
I
there.
guess, so it's just combos, right?
And there's that back one. Forward 3. Very well done there. Gets the running 2 into the starburst. He does have it. Will he use it this round? Didn't even need it. Goes
Came
for the
straight
back
out the
3.
gate. That was fast.
2.
So yeah, if Jopalix plays more aggressively, but in a timing where he won't get counter hit, I feel like that would be very beneficial for him. When he was playing keeper, I think he was letting Knee do his own thing. And right now, he is playing that more defensive style, waiting for a mistake, and the mistake is on his end. Gets counter hit with that while standing 3, carries him to the wall.
Oh, there we go. He's not getting up. He doesn't want to deal with the taunt. But there it is. Side steps away. Very nice.
Yeah, that was a really good sidewalk on wake up. Didn't let Knee get that taunt pressure. Commits to the full string.
Oh,
That
wow.
should be it.
Crush.
KO.
Alright, 2 more rounds and Knee could be moving forward to grand finals.
I think that's the first time we've seen Knee use that string.
Yep.
He's been using a lot of that 4-3 actually. Very interesting. It is a natural combo now. It's +2 on hit. But he's just throwing it out. Maybe expecting Joblix to just wait for the last hit. Once again, using the first 2 hits to condition him with mental frame advantage.
Oh!
How is he so ready for these hop kicks? And gets the dash on the jet upper punish.
Or if he believed hard enough, he could have taken that.
Both players had the chance to close it out there.
Oh!
Commits
Got it
to the
this
mid.
time, though.
This could be it. This is big damage. And the last hit takes it.
All right.
Jopalix
Let's
with the
go.
combo.
Fight.
Can he bring it back? Could that have been the swing in momentum that he needed? Jopalix pushing Knee to the wall. This is a small stage. And gets that counter in 4. We'll get him to the wall here. Goes for the running 2. Very well done there. Recognized that it was off axis. Just wanted the starburst. Perhaps for a mix-up to close it out. Does have access to that down 2-2. Decides to use it.
Here we go. Knee's coming in with those 4-3s again.
And the way Jopalix is moving, he's pushing Knee to the corner. Knee gets that counter. What could be potentially the game-winning combo. The Rage Out comes out. And the punish.
Okay.
We're going to a
This is it.
potential
This
final
could be the last
round.
Okay, let's go.
Fight.
Jopalix really needs to pull it back right now. He's on his last lap of this tournament. It's going to be crazy. Oh, he's
Yeah,
okay.
he
All
wants
right,
it.
here we go. All right, then.
This is when you know Knee is in the zone. He's so far ahead. He wants to get that taunt jet upper. Playing to
fans.
yeah, playing to the fans. Nice low parry by Jopalix. Jopalix, he's not gonna let him get that taunt jet upper. He wants to win
That's
this
the
game.
thing. When you see your opponent maybe get less serious about it, that could be an opportunity to bring it back.
And
So,
just
there we go.
There we go. Knee caught sleeping on the job.
Yep.
Gets hit with the mid. Jopalix puts himself back into this set on the precipice of defeat.
Yeah, also, there's nothing wrong with sleeping on the job, all right? All right, let's go.
Knee still on a 4-2 lead over Joplix, but Joplix, with this momentum from the last game, let's see what he does with it. Brian still throwing those steel beams at the camera.
Let's see if Knee actually goes back for some more taunt jet up, or he's like, okay, we gotta close this one out to get into it. Oh, finishes that time. Counter hit, taking it to the wall. Not quite there. Oof. Man, this wall's been broken for years now. Like, I don't know what kind of contractors they got with this, but they are not fixing it. It's a big hole.
Nice whiff punish. Very, very rare to see that used as a whiff.
Oh, wow. The timing on that read. So yeah, he's gonna do the running punch. I'm gonna duck. He didn't even fuzzy. He's just like, oh, I'm down, and then he got back up.
He's got those reads. Once again, Joplix back rolling after that 3+4 knockdown. Interesting choice of move. It did, however, low crush, which was probably the goal in that situation. Using that forward 3, one of Brian's best moves up close.
Back one again.
There's that 3+4. This time he tech rolls.
Oh, the back ones are coming out.
Neve has his back to the wall. Joplix trying to push him into the corner. Uses down forward 2, looking for a counter here. Doesn't commit.
Knee didn't even bother to punish. He's like, alright, I'm gonna save these negative frames and just use it for a heavier move and just see if we block it or not.
15 seconds left on the clock. Neither player in rage. Joplix with the big hop kick. Ooh. I think Knee tried to do a forward 3 in between, but he was a bit late because forward 4 is -5 into an I-15 hop kick.
Jabbed him out of the orbital. At the wall, man punch. Neem working his way out, block.
All of those have been blocked. Knee is 2 on point in blocking that down to 2. The only way that's hitting is if it's the counter hit.
Messed up.
And he's got that legacy Brian skill where he commits to forward 2-1 in case he messes up the forward 4-2 input, just so you don't launch punish it. And the side step into the jet upper punish, forward 4-2 to end the combo. We're in that part of the set again where Knee could take it and could eliminate Joplix. Once again, Joplix has a chance to bring it back, and will he do it just like he did in the previous game?
Nice steps, avoiding the forward 3s. Knee keeps throwing them out. Joplix just keeps walking away. Oh, he's okay. All right, calm down, Knee. You don't want. Oh, okay.
He was so close.
Joplix, let's go. Bring it back.
Everyone in the crowd just waiting for the twin jet upper.
Yeah, the crowd's huge right now.
Knee trying to jet up punish that wall bounce there.
This is your chance, Joplix.
There's the same thing we saw in the very first
game. Sorry.
Hob kicks, the reads on these hob kicks by Joplix.
Weird side axis.
He does have rage. One hit could take it. Joplix playing it patient, using that back one. Wants to play keeper. One hit away. Blocks the low. 10 seconds
He's going
left.
for stuff. Oh, down back wall. Let's go. Let's go.
Final round of this game. Can Joplix
We're gonna
put another one on the board?
Alright, take your chance, Joplix. Blood in the water.
You know what we haven't seen a lot from Knee? I was just about to say orbital, and he does it. Because I feel like he doesn't want to use it at a range where running 2 will whiff punish. Because running 2 very, very fast. If you're ready for it, you can get that whiff punish.
And he did an orbital at the start of the previous round, I believe it was, and he got floated. Just did it, got floated, and then taken to the wall.
But so I don't think he's had to use it until now.
Not much, yeah. Okay, he's trying. All right, Joplix, this is your chance, dude.
He's still using that back one, the old reliable, safe mid homing move. Both players playing very patiently. Still not committing to the last hit. Knee obviously waiting for it. Knee just turtling all the way to the end. We're almost down to the last 10 seconds and neither player is ready. And the orbital with the perfect timing. The first one to hit is the decisive one to take the set. Excellent. Very well done there by Knee.
Well
takes
done.
it 5-2 over Joplix.
That was excellent.
Very well done by Knee. Finland eliminated from the tournament. South Korea moving on into our top 3. Very well done there by Knee. Great effort by Joplix, making this top 4 at a stacked tournament. I think this is the most stacked IeSF has ever been. And it's good to see the overall skill levels getting better and better every year. But alas, that is our last match for now. We will be going to a break. And after that, we'll have more matches for you. We will be on the main stage. And as you can see on the screen, at 5 p.m. Korean Standard Time, we'll have Dojin from the Philippines versus Joplix from Finland for 3rd place. This will be a 3rd place match. And after that, we will have our grand finals. Stick around for some Tekken, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back at 5 p.m.
See you soon.
IeSF World Championship. We're here with some Tekken 7 action. I'm back with Brown Man on the mic. And I'm Alchemist. We're here to present to you the top 4 for this year's Tekken 7. First match of the day is the Philippines versus Finland. We got PBE Dojin versus Jopelix in that first to 5. This match will determine who finishes 3rd place. This is the bronze medal match. How do you think this is going to go down? We've seen both of these players play. We've seen them, bring out a few characters. Jopelix bringing out that Feng in the last match. How do you feel about this so far?
This one's going to be interesting. We've seen Dojin play just a varied array of characters, as you mentioned. We saw him do Alisa the last set for most of the time against Take. He's the type that he'll just use anybody that he feels like, so we'll see how that goes for him.
And with that being said, we're going to get the brackets up for you guys. As you can see, those have been the results so far in this top 16. And up to this point, these 4 countries have made it this far. We have Japan and Korea in that grand finals. But first off, we have that bronze medal match. We have the Philippines versus Finland. This match, I think, is going to be the closest match we've had so far on stream. Yesterday, we saw a lot of great matches. I think most people are still on that high where it was Anakin versus Nii, Korea versus USA. I think that was a great match. And we got a lot of great matches today. I think this one's going to be very close because both players have a very, very interesting play style. Jopelix plays that Claudio. He has that interesting style where he uses maybe 3 or 4 moves and he uses those moves really, really effectively. And Dojin, you never know what he's going to do because he plays so many characters and he kind of transfers different things from one character to the other and he uses them well regardless of the character and the situation and the opponent.
I definitely expect this one to be super close. And Jopelix probably just go with Claudio, honestly. I think he tried his thing out and that was okay for him. I think he's going to be a lot more confident with his Claudio. Their styles actually clash a little bit. I've noticed Jopelix, he can play slow, but most of the time he's on the offense more than anything. Dojin, he loves his offense too, but I've noticed he kind of switches up a bit more in terms of his pacing. So
I would agree.
See how that goes. Yeah.
But we saw in Jopelix versus Nii, Jopelix was playing more of a keep-out style, especially with that back one. We go back to that move. And it didn't work out necessarily, but at the same time, he was trying not to get counter hit because the moment he went into range 0, Nii kind of had a read on time and he would set up mental frame advantage situations. But in this case, will Dojin be doing something similar? That's too hard to say.
We'll have to take a look. Oh, we got the geese.
Okay, this is the first time we've seen Dojin bring out that geese. This is the second, this is the 3rd geese we've seen this tournament. We saw Mr. Good from Chinese Taipei, and we saw Nii representing that geese yesterday versus USA.
That's right.
And Jopelix sticking with that reliable Claudio pick. We're in that Twilight conflict. We've got those suits on. First game of this top 4 underway.
We have a wall break here as well. Oh, a balcony break, I should say. Both these characters could definitely get a lot of damage from that. So let's see who uses it first.
Claudio, one of those characters that doesn't have access to a punch parry or a reversal. So the second hit of back 3-2, he's going to have to deal with it the good old-fashioned way by blocking it or guessing. He can sidestep it to the right, but it's very difficult. You have to time it. Gets that counter hit 4 combo, will carry to the wall hit. Sidesteps to realign. He's got that wall pressure. There's that back one we're talking about. Counter hit confirmed. And gets the combo for the Oki. Puts Dojin in rage. Will he make use of it? Geese does not have a rage drive, but he does have a deadly rage art. And Jopelix takes that first round in this first 5.
Ooh, Jopelix starting up with the back one.
And he's so consistent on hitting that counter hit 4 combo. I think it might be because Geese is one of the larger characters. The 2 always hits. Dojin, even in the second round, he still does not have bar. Jopelix limiting how much meter he can build by being very aggressive, not letting him attack, and takes another round 2-0 right now in this first game. But he does have that 1 bar. Will he make use of it? We saw him make great use of that bar with the sidestep into the whip punish with 2-1. Can Dojin do the same? We'll get to the wall here.
In the previous round, I noticed that Jopelix tried to break the wall with the running 2, but it just didn't work out. Still could salvage the round. A lot of people would have, have their composure broken there and just dropped it.
Generally, when situations like that happen, people do panic, and you probably get counter hit by a get-up kick.
Yeah.
But Jopelix maintained his composure. That was very well done.
Excellent.
And Dojin whittling away at his life. Jopelix almost in rage, and there it is. Claudio always has the threat of that rage drive. Nice duck and the punish. He was fuzzy guarding there. And the low parry. Can he make a comeback here? He does have rage for the added damage. Goes for the extended combo at the wall. Big damage and the spring kick takes it. Raging Storm showing off for the crowd in the first game. Nice punish there by Jublix. He was ready for that. Not pressing buttons, not hesitating. And Dojin does have those 2 bars there. Always as deadly as ever.
He's letting himself get pushed against the wall. He's trying to make it back. Everything's getting blocked.
Alright, so he blocked the first situation where he used his meter. Very good for Jopalix. He is still run 1 round up. So that 1 meter either has to be used in this round or the next one.
Nice. Ducked and launched there. Heavy damage here. Got his meter. About to build the second one. Doesn't use any of it for now. Sidestep 3.
And most Geese players will end combos with that single Reppuken for the extra Oki. If you do go for the double Reppuken, it is extra damage. Oh my god! Goes for, what are we calling that?
I don't know, the starfish jump.
I think because of the videos that came out when that move, when Geese was first added, people call that the John Cena or something. Shoutouts to Daddy King. Gets the back 3-2 into the max mode cancel. We'll get to the wall here. And the big combo with the Shippuken. Get up 4. Very well done by Jublix. Trying to work his way away from the wall. He's got wall position here with Dojin his back there.
That's a rip. 50 time. Oh, ducks. Gets a lot of damage.
This might be it. Depending on the angle at the wall, he can get a jab into a throw.
Oh, it's a wall. But
it didn't matter. Sidestep 3 for the win.
Very nice. Yeah,
Dojin brings it all the way back after being down 2 rounds. Takes the first game in this best of 9.
That was a close one. I can't really say anyone was super dominant. They just went back and forth and ended up back in Dojin's favor.
As we predicted from the beginning, I think this will be a very close one based on the styles. And first game, proves that. But sometimes in these longer sets, someone just finds one thing and abuses it and exploits it, and then gets several rounds or several matches because of it. And it's until the player picks up on what the opponent is abusing that the game changes. But right now, I think it's only been the first game, so there hasn't been that much information laid out. Let's see if those players can take advantage of each other's habits and patterns.
Turn into the wall. Here we go. Drops it there. Gets sidestepped. Yeah, Jopalix is just constantly walking Dojin back to the wall. Anytime he tries to go anywhere, walks him back. If he tries to escape, walks with him and keeps him there. Same thing Take did to Dojin as well, and it's worked. Oh, we got a starfish jump.
Sorry, go on.
Every time that happens, I just play the John Cena music in the background. It's like doo 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 doo.
Dojin working on that bar, uses the wall jump again.
I've never seen him use so many times in one game.
I think a lot of the matches we've seen Dojin play, he kind of forces himself, he forces his back to the wall, and he plays really well there under that pressure. As we can see there, takes the round.
Oh, okay.
And this is the big boy damage. This is where it all comes in. That uses the meter. We'll get to the wall here with the Moon Slicer. He's going to get the combo. Will he go for Oki? Goes for the extra damage and the low parry.
Bet everything on
expecting
that
a toe kick. Another power clutch. Nice punish there. Gets the starburst. Will he make use of the mix-up here? Goes for the mid option. Dojin not biting there. Almost built his first bar. There it is. This should be the round here. The consistency on these combos because of the Moon Slicer spoon, it's such an added benefit for Geese in Season 3. Doesn't commit to the max mode cancel. Wanted to mind game with it. Still has that bar. There's that back one of the best moves with Claudio in neutral, using it as keep out. Also using it to high crush.
Everyone's just checking with back threes right now. Goes for the swipe. Dojin getting himself back to the wall again. Should have let it rip.
Even in these situations where while running 2 for Claudio is blocked, it's still pushing Geese towards the wall. And right now, whenever we see Jopalix pushing someone towards the wall, he makes use of that down forward 3 hit confirm into the wall splat, into the combo, and he always has that back 1 or the sidestep mix up ready. There's that one running 2 pushing him to the wall once again.
This time. Oh, he doesn't.
And this is the maximum version. This is a full combo and a ton of damage. Goes for the Jaiken Ender. Wanted that Oki. 9 seconds left on the clock. Jopalix has rage. Uses the max mode cancel. 4 seconds left. Who's going to take it? Goes for the jab. 1 second. And the crouch jab to take it. He's looping them for maximum disrespect. After that win, takes it 3 rounds straight. over Joplix in that second game.
That was
Dojin up 2-0.
That was clutch, man. He's just like, yeah, alright, fair enough.
That was as close as it gets.
Yeah.
So it just came down to the clutch. You got those moves that you have ready for the situations like that, where there's 1 second left. People think a low's coming, where you just need that last chip to win the round, and he does a crouch jab to interrupt his pressure and takes it.
Excellent work here.
You can't write this stuff.
Yeah, but that shows how seasoned Dojin is. Like, he's been in that situation a million times. He knows what they're expecting. He just kind of goes with something. Oh, we're back to the Fang.
And this is the character we did see earlier for one game. It didn't work out, but in this matchup, it might be completely different.
Could be. Let's see how he goes with this one. What tools do you think Fang would have to better verse Geese?
Round 1.
Well, Feng has a punch parry, a really good punch parry. And so he can counter the extensions from forward 2-1 as well as back 3-2. Also, you have to remember the fact that Feng has slightly longer range with his pokes, such as the lows and whatnot. And that can come into play here. Also, the back Kenpo, that's always a deadly tool with Feng. You have to mention that. It's not an attack, but it creates so many favorable situations for Feng. And there's that side step forward, goes for the delayed combo. Doesn't get the last hit. Doesn't really matter, still has that wall pressure. And Dojin deciding not to press any buttons. Will it come back to haunt him? He does have that 1 bar, but it won't matter. Jobalix jabs him, punishes him, and takes that first round in this third game.
Excellent work. Oh, jumping swipe to start it off again. Full power crush. Ooh, moving away. The Jobalix is very patient right now, waiting for those openings from Dojin. That could have been a launch, I do believe. But
most people don't try and launch it simply because of the fact that he can transition into his strings because of it. Does have that 1 bar. We're working in the middle of the stage. Goes for that while running 1. Trying to get those plus frames with that wall bounce. Another elbow. Pushes him towards the wall. 30 seconds left on the clock. Goes shoulder
nice
with punish.
Tried it again, couldn't quite get it.
He's still trying that wall bounce. He does have rage now. He went for another power crush, interrupted out of it. Not enough frames for the startup on the armor there. Dojin in rage. Would he make use of it? Cancelled into max mode and goes for the low, but not having it, any of it this time. Jobalix ready for that low, blocks it, punishes it, and takes the round.
Here we go.
So this Feng pick looking pretty good right now for Jobalix.
It's working out pretty well. It could be that period of time where you have your opponent pull out a new character and you just take a little while to adjust. Or this could be, Dojin's downfall against his Geese.
Goes for that 1+2 throw. 1+2 throw, one of those moves Geese players love to use when they have their back to the ward. Obviously switches sides if not broken.
Oh, what was that combo right now?
I think that's the combo you have to go to now because back 3-2 has slower recovery.
Whoa.
Gets that counter hit homie move. He's going to get the combo here. Will he get to the wall? The dash jab. We got those Tekken 5 combos on deck. Puts Feng in rage. Jobalix still on match point right now. 14 seconds left on the clock. He does have those 2 bars to work with. Jobalix going for the upward 2.
Oh, he's out of
there.
there.
This might be it. He could have gotten the shoulder on the back. 7 seconds left. He does have rage. Is the rage drive coming out? And the down forward one to stop any attempt at a comeback there by Jobalix. Very well done by Dojin. Starting off with the 2 into the forward 3. Trying to get him to maybe stand there and take the mix-up, or checking if he's going to punch parry the second hit of that 2 forward 1.
Jumping, he goes in. So they're both jumping now. This is airball.
Oh, the move? I think that was a miss input. We very rarely see that move in neutral. It is a safe move, but it is high. And the opponent's ready for it. They're going to punish you, and this could be it. That's the stand-up throw. Ties it up at 2 rounds apiece. And this is not common. It's the last round, and Geese has 3 bars. Max meter. This is very dangerous. He has access to 90% combos if he gets the right launch. All he needs is 1 standing 2 as a whiff punish, and that's it. That's the round right now. Oh, and there's the punch parry. As mentioned before, he was ready for it this time. Last round, Dojin went for the kick. This time, the punch comes out, and he's parried. He gets punished for it, but here's the meter usage. Gets the wall bounce into the moon slice. He still has 2 bars. Uses one of them, got a bit greedy, gets that while standing 2 punch, and the rage drive.
Oh my god, that was incredible. And he died with meter as well.
Dying with meter is one of the worst things you can do as Geese, because not only did you not even attempt a mix-up, you died having the bar, knowing that you failed to attempt a mix-up.
I think Jobalix actually didn't give him the chance to even use the last one. He used 2 near the wall in the off-axis combo, but he died before the third one could come out.
The thing is, I think Dojin could have killed it if he had the right angle when he did that combo towards the wall with the wall bounce. But he didn't have the angle, and that's what got him killed.
see if he sticks with Geese or changes to any number of characters. Panda maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, he's been going through character roulette at this point. You know, he's got that slot machine. You know, it's just waiting for the character images to load up. And he's sticking with that Geese. He's got a stage change, going to that geometric plane.
Let's go. Clean stage. Love this one. Background looks real tricky.
Who do you think has a more imposing intro, Geese or Fang?
I would say Geese, depending on his costume.
Depending on his costume. So which one's the most imposing?
Probably his classic one with the red.
I think it's the one with the feathers, man.
Oh, true. Oh, actually, yeah. It's like in the wild where those animals, like, they flare up their feathers to, like, scare the predators.
Alright, we're in this fourth game. Dojin gets that launch. Will get him to the wall here with that moon slicer.
Oh, he's got another part of the combo.
And the extended combo. Very interesting choice there. But it works out for him. Gets that sidestep one plus two.
He's flying.
So many wall jumps. He makes great use of it. We saw him using it as Alyssa as well. Alyssa's one, obviously different properties, but he's still using it very well here with Geese.
Wall bounce move there, but no wall inside. Yeah, that Geese's Starfish jump is probably one of the best moves in the game. Like, easy.
Most people don't even consider those options in those situations, but yeah, you are correct. Making great use of Geese's wall jump. Does have that one, but Joblix took that first round in this fourth game. We're in the middle of the stage. We've seen both of these players show great wall pressure when they do get their opponent to the back to the wall. Goes for that extended combo with the wall carry.
Ooh, that's a rip. Let's go.
Meter with Geese right now is so precious, and Dojin knows that. Uses it there and actually gets the hit with the back 3-2, which is very good for him. But he loses that wall position. It won't matter in this case. Gets the combo, goes for the Rakugan to try and close it out. Jopelix ready with the whiff punish on the homie move. He does have rage. Oh my days, look at this combo into the sidestep 4. And the up forward 2, look at that evasion. Gets away from the pressure at the wall and takes this round.
If he was on ice skates or something, he's like, I'm out of here, boys. That was amazing.
That move is one of those moves that has very, very evasive properties. Sometimes it moves Fang in towards the camera, and it really messes up with the players. Sometimes he switches sides.
He went like 45 degrees at least just now. Need for speed, man.
Dojin really liking that back two, even when not near the wall, because it is his wall bounce move. It was the first wall bounce move introduced in Tekken 7. Dojin has 2 bars to work with, playing very patiently, and that down forward one to close it out. Very well done.
Round 4.
He knows he's playing from behind, so he's trying to use his bar conservatively. And when he does get a chance, he'll probably get a launch just like that. Goes for the moonslide. This is going to be big damage. Carry again. What's for the combo here? Is he going to go for the 1 Reppuken or the 2? Goes for 1 this time into the stand-up throw.
65 plus damage, 65% plus damage right there. That's crazy.
The thing is, he has far less chances to do that now because of the changes to his bar in Season 3.
But they're still there, and that's the scary part. Ooh, running elbow. Let's go.
And the down 3 to close it out. Not giving Jopelix a chance to use that rage there or make a comeback in any way. We're going to the final round in this 4th game. See, I think he tried to punch parry there. Jopelix is very ready for that for the second hit. And Dojin knows that, which is why going for the forward 3. Carries to the wall. Single Reppuken once again. Goes for the sidestep 3. Jopelix to sidestep on the ground. Trying to pressure him, trying to get away. I think he went for an up forward 2, got a miss input there. Goes for the mid jack and no punish. He could have done the wall splat. Jopelix in rage once again. Goes for the 3rd hit of the string and the down 2 to close it out.
He's toe tapping, man. He's ready for that. That's 3-1 right now.
Yeah. I mean, we said this was going to be a close match. I think in this situation, we might see a character change. You know, we've seen that Leroy pick, we've seen that Feng pick. But, you know, his main and his most successful character so far has been that Claudio. We've seen him do great work on that Claudio. But it looks like he's sticking with Feng. Maybe because of the matchup, he wants that punch parry, wants to keep Dojin scared to continue with the strings. And I think he could do really well with that. But the thing is, Dojin is mind gaming so well with those strings that he's not giving him a chance to punch parry. It's only the one situation where he got it. And there's that wall jump once again. Are we going to have a 20-second round? Gets that counter hit 4. He does have rage. This will do added damage and goes for the deadly rave. Will he finish it though? Or will he stop early for the mix-up? Oh my god, that last hit always does 25 damage. It's so much damage.
Round 2.
Crazy. Like, and to be able to pull that up in tournament consistently is extremely hard. You have to practice.
We've seen many players drop it, but most Geese players are quite consistent with it, yes. You got to be practicing that if you want to use it in tournament.
Just set up a macro, man. One button, it just does all the inputs.
Is that tournament legal?
Hey, man, they don't need to know.
Gets that forward 4, one of the best keep-out moves that Feng has in his arsenal.
Oh, bud.
He always does these max damage, high wall splat combos. He's ready for these situations.
Nice combo. Oh, couldn't get the conversion.
Just off axis. Nice break on the 1+2 throw. Again. Again. Another one.
I'm having flashbacks to Neva Anakin.
He's breaking all of them. I think it doesn't matter whether he breaks them or not. Dorjin just wants to make him press a button or duck in reaction to the throw. He doesn't want to guess those mix-ups. 10 seconds left on the clock. Dorjin does have rage. We'll see another raid, deadly raid. 5 seconds left. We're going down to the clutch once again. Both players and the rage drive. The blue shoulder takes the round. Jokelix 2 rounds straight right now.
Fight.
But
Tightly.
even in these situations where he's behind, Dorjin has seemed to have no trouble coming back. Can he bring it back, or will Jokelix take this momentum and take this game to get closer to that 3 games that Dorjin has ahead of him?
That's a tall order right now. But if anyone can do it, man in this position. Oh, goes under the running elbow.
Feng's moves do have a lot of weird hitboxes, as we were saying earlier with that up forward 2.
Combo. Take it. Not quite there. Goes for some Oki.
He stayed there, stood in back turn. He didn't really care what happened because he just wanted to see what Dorjin would do on wake up. He wanted to enforce the 50-50. Dorjin didn't come close. He's like, you know what? He's not coming. I'll just leave it 50-50.
Chill here.
Almost 10 seconds left in this round. Dorjin almost has 3 bars. As we mentioned before, that is quite rare. Goes to the power punch. Both players in rage, and another round won by the blue shoulder.
3 bars still right there.
He
Full
died
tank.
with 3 bars.
Full tank.
3 bars and rage.
Yeah, but sometimes you can't help it, you know?
There's only one way worse to lose with Geese than that, and that's to be tied, like to lose in a double KO.
Yeah.
Alright, we're going to this. I think this is the 6th match. Yes, it is.
It's a long one.
So it's 2-3 right now, still in Dorjin's favor. Dorjin taking a bit of time. Is he, changing his character?
Good thing. Like, the way he's looking, it's like maybe he's looking around the character selection for somebody. Maybe he's picking a costume, who knows?
Maybe he just doesn't want to deal with that punch parry anymore. The situation, he has to think about it too much, so he has to change his options or limit them in a way.
Yeah, and as we know, you can't chicken phase 1. So there's a lot of characters like, say, Dragonov. He can do the same in those situations, but you can chicken him, and it's basically useless then. But against Feng, it's a different type of parry. Oh,
and
Julia.
he does change characters. This is a character we saw him play earlier in the tournament.
Yeah, let's go.
Julia, one of those characters where you're not going to get a lot of punch parries on. She has elbows and knees for days.
All right, what kind of tools do you think he's going to use for this one to counteract Jokelix's Feng?
Yesterday when we saw him play Julia, it was mainly just forward 1 and shotgun. He didn't really commit to mix-ups from shotgun, but he went into shotgun stance, windroll stance rather, after the shotgun. And there's the hop kick. Nice punish by Jokelix. Goes for that back 3. Back 3 is one of those moves that Feng can't punish consistently at tip range. Has very, very good pushback. And if you space it well enough, it's very hard for most characters to punish.
Damn, that's a lot of damage on. He's just trying to get up.
The thing with Julia is if you stay down on the ground against her, she's going to just roll on you.
Yeah.
She's got forward 3, forward 2, up forward 3 plus 4. So many tools that hit grounded. Very well done there by Dorjin. Gets that launch and takes the first round. We also had a stage change. We're in that abandoned temple now. This is far bigger than the geometric plane, and it's got curved edges, so some combos, we have some creativity there.
So Julia's trying to set up this reforestation, right? Or like save the trees. She streams as well, so she must have a Patreon. Like, where do people go to donate to that one?
I don't know, man.
All right, someone put it in the chat. All right, let's go. Counter hit.
Down here with that down 2. And Julia, one of the few characters that can actually punish Feng's down 2 with a wall splat. She has that full crouch down forward 2, which is an I-12 mid, which knocks down. Obviously, it's minus 14 on block, so using it as a punisher rather than anything else, like a 50-50. But you have to keep that in mind. Dorjin up 2 rounds right now. just pressuring him with the jabs at range 0, goes for the hop kick, and Joplix ready with that whip punish with the forwards on +2. Will he get it to the wall here? And he does with that new extension.
Less season 3 is the thing.
Gets the
wall
wall bounce, caught him ducking, and big damage.
Round 4.
All right, Jopilex looking to even this one up. 2 more rounds and it's 3-3, and that's a tough position for both these players.
He might get to the wall here again.
Oh, man.
Slightly low wall splat, so he had to go for that shoulder ender. The recovery on it is not that great. He's still using the wall bounce, the wall jump, even on Julia.
Julia's one's pretty good as well. It's in the upper end. They got the backflip, as opposed to the ones where they just jump off the wall and do a mini kick. Those are, I think, the hardest ones to really utilize.
I think, and some of them actually give you a full combo. I think that one does as well. And look at this wall carry, drops the combo, gets to the back and gets that while standing 1-2-1. Trying to pressure him. I see an up forward 2 coming in. There it is. Gets the shoulder raw in neutral. Absolutely no respect from Joplix, and takes the round, ties it up at 2 rounds apiece. Can he take this round to tie it up 3 games apiece?
Oh, excellent.
Gets that while standing 4 into the second hit.
You don't see that one hit on its own usually.
It's only been 7 seconds and Dojin's almost in rage. Goes for that back Kenpo. There's the wind roll we were talking about earlier. Nice punish by Dojin. Went for that back turn hop kick.
Back elbow. Jopilex definitely understands his matchup, knows what he can do, knows what he can't.
That punch. See, the thing is, the reason why Joplix can't really play keep out as effectively is because of that lunging punch there. Because if he goes for a forward 4 at its badly timed, he gets punished for it. And the rage drive comes out. For the plus, perfectly spaced war drums, and this should be it. Dojin.
Excellent.
He had that rage drive blocked at the perfect distance where he did not have to realign or move to get that wall drums to wall splat. And he knew it. He set it up. He moved around to get the perfect angle, and it worked out in his favor. Very well done there. Takes a 4-2 game lead here. This could be potentially the last game for this set.
How did this man remember all this tech for all these characters all the time? It's crazy.
I reckon he plays like 18 hours a day or something.
25 hours a day he plays. Mom, it's like, Dojin, go to bed. Mom, I'm playing Tekken. Oh, okay, never mind.
Julia is one of those characters that I actually really enjoy playing, so I like seeing other people play her. Because there's a lot of moves that some Julia players don't use, and I see that with Dojin. He actually doesn't use that much forward 1. No. Yeah, maybe he's scared of keep out options that Feng has, whether it's that reason or something else. We're just not seeing that much forward 1, whereas some Julia players choose to pressure with that as like 90% of their gameplay.
Well, we've got our Floral Claudio this time, so we might be able to see some forward 1. Oh, there we go. As
I think this outfit is the sudden death outfit. He always picks it when he's on his last life.
It gives him his power. The florals.
You know, he's ready for spring, but we're in winter here in South Korea. Okay, gets that mid from the wind roll. Pushing him to the wall with the shotgun.
Mix-ups are coming out hard, and Jopilex is keeping his composure right now. He's doing a good job.
He's not overcommitting. He's just standing there. He's waiting for a chance to strike back, and there it is. Gets the punish.
Running at him, back against the wall. Wall bounce.
Ducking and, just slightly away from the wall. Couldn't have gotten massive damage. Does not commit to the last hit of that string. And gets the second hit of the Twin Pistons. Will this be enough? Just shy of it. Goes for the rage drive into the jabs and takes the round. Does Joplix.
Yeah, he let that one. I didn't expect that at all. Dojin must have reeled back in his seat after that one.
Still not committing to that second hit of the back 3-3. Julia has a great punish for that with the 2 back into the 1+2.
Wall flip.
Yeah, that back flip, it's okay. Like, it's not one of the best wall jumps, but I know what you mean now. I didn't see it earlier.
I know one of the common Filipino setups is they'll wall flip with the back flip, and then they'll expect you to try to low parry.
Yeah, and
so,
they'll do a hop kick.
Yeah.
That's some cheesy setup, man.
Or they'll just low parry you. Oh, sorry, you do the low kick and they'll low parry. It's happened a lot of times.
See, there's those forward ones. We've seen very few of them. Dojin deciding to actually start using them in neutral now. He's not scared anymore now that he's versing Claudio instead of Feng. He gets that back force through. Look at that wall carry, just 3 hits and almost at the wall, gets the tackle, goes for 1 hit into the 4-4-3 and the war drums to end this round and gets the first round for himself in this 7th game.
I'm so used to JC from Tag 2. Whenever I see a Julia start running towards an opponent, I'm expecting running grab.
Yeah, the Shining Wizard. And as we saw earlier in his set versus Joplix, still using that 2-1 for pressure, but doesn't commit to the last hit. The last hit is punishable on block. There it is, 2-1 again for pressure. Goes for that hop kick. Dojin comes in for a punch and a hop kick of his own. He will get him to the wall here. What's the combo? Goes for Oki with that
okay,
four-ender.
backflip.
Spins into the low and another low. This is match point and set point for Dojin for this bronze medal match. Can he take it, or can Jopalex bring it back?
There's a lot of work to do right now. Jopalex goes with the hop kick, should get to the wall. Jopalex has a lot of work to do if he wants to bring this one back. He's got a few games to win, and this round itself is intense.
Oh, the perfectly timed hop kick on the read for that low there. This should be it.
Not
One
quite.
touch
Is he
away.
gonna come back?
Can Dojin bring it back? Goes for the Hail Mary.
Down forward 4.
And Jopalex not having any of that. Down forward for a safe mid poke to close it out. Gets another game on the board. Score is 3-4, still in Dojin's favor. You know, every time we go into another match, Jopalex has to be thinking, you know, he's one game away from losing this. And, you know, Dojin going in, he's like, I only got to win one. I only have to win one more game.
One more. But down forward 4 saves lives, man. So thanks to that, Jopalex has another chance. 2 more games have to come out of him, but let's see if he can do it. I'm sure he can. Honestly, the way he's been playing, he's been adapting pretty quickly to Dojin's strats, even after character changes. So,
but that's the hardest thing. In a set like this, when you have someone that's changing and swapping through multiple characters, keeping up with what they're doing. Because sometimes you think to yourself during the loading screen, oh, they changed this character. Now I've got to remember this tool. I've got to remember this option. How do I deal with it? And, you know, by changing characters, it kind of throws you off guard.
It's a mind game.
And I think Dojin uses that very effectively.
He's going to use now, though, his next tool, next character, next, most importantly, costume.
Once again, this is the first 5. He's going with the Dragunov, the Season 3.0 special. As
The
we like
thing
to
is,
call
in
it.
the least, like the 3.1 patch, Dragunov lost his 3-1, which is a big hit to his combo damage. So his 3-1 no longer cancels fast enough for you to continue a combo. So once you cancel it, it's a big delay, and you're pretty much having to end it there, so you don't want to use it.
It's a big hit to his wall carry as well. And speaking of wall carry, gets the combo and carries to the wall straight off the bat. 10 seconds in, and Jopalex already in rage. Dojin going all out in this first round.
Damn, is Nobi out there? What's going on?
Not giving him any chance, being the oppressor, and just getting these lows, getting these while running twos, getting those plus frames whenever he wants at this point.
That's the thing. I think whenever Dojin brings out a character, his short set style comes out, and it's very good. So in this situation,
Oh my god, look at this pressure!
he's got Jopalex gets to press a button.
How oppressive do you want to be? He's not giving him any chance to breathe.
That's what I'm saying, man. His short set game is crazy.
And this is a big chance for Jopalex. Can he get that wall break? Get the while running two. There's gonna be big damage.
kill.
What's the combo here?
Drops it.
Doesn't get the dash and the Rager.
Oh, I pressed nothing. Okay.
Doesn't bite, and this is it. Jopalex ties it up for 1 round apiece.
Is that going to stop Dojin's momentum? For his sake, I hope it doesn't, but that could have done it right there. He slowed down. There we go.
Yeah, see, as soon as Jopalex started this round, he started moving forward rather than backwards. Doesn't want to give Dojin a chance to do those while running twos, but Dojin, doesn't matter, he's still going to go for it.
Oh,
There's
there
that
you
while running two, trying to get all the pressure he can from it.
But his inputs per minute has severely dropped, but they're still coming out really strong.
And that was very well done by Jopalex. Got away from the wall. It was at an angle where an upward fall from Dragunov would become a launcher. Gets that quarter second forward one, gets the wall break, gets the screw. Can he get him to the wall here? Drops the combo. Jopalex does have Rage and Starburst. Will he make use of it? He actually did not use the Starburst before using the Rage Drive.
Punish on
Will
the
come back to
slide.
horn him. Big damage, delay on the second hit just for the consistency. Goes for that down back 3 and the down back 4 generic low to take this round. And Dojin once again on set points. Can he take it? Or can Jopalex once again bring it back?
Nice launch. All right, here we go. We're going to see a fall forward, take it to the wall. I think he's going to go for an Oki option instead of getting the full damage. There we go.
Yep, there it is, that 1-3-2.
Oh, he's got a
went
one
for it
button
again.
running two, man.
And he's just playing so aggressively. There's the up forward 4. It would have been a launcher in that situation.
Oh, and the power crush. Oh, man.
And just like that, Dojin from the Philippines takes it of Jopalex from Finland. He is your bronze medal winner, finishing here 3rd place at Seoul 2019 IeSF Tekken 7 World Championships.
That means he gets to share in the pot prize. He'll be getting 3rd place money, and that's pretty good. So a lot of people did look at the bracket and be like, okay, it's single elimination. Why are these guys playing? There's no point. Well, actually, the winner of that obviously gets 3rd place, and they get to share in the pot. So it's basically a very expensive money match. So we're about to go to a break for you guys, and we'll be back soon and bring the grand final.
Stick around for that.
Oh, yeah, let's go. 11th annual one, don't forget. So we have the grand finals now. It's a big one. We just came through Jopilex versus Dojin, and that was a pretty close one. It went back and forth. That was a hard stop right there. But now we've got the main event. We've got Japan versus Korea, one of the oldest rivalries to exist in Tekken. So let's take a look at the bracket real quick and see who they had to go through to get here. So you can see that Take, representing Japan, had to go through New Zealand, Thailand, and the Philippines as well. Very dominant this week. And Korea has Ni. Ni had a very close match with Anakin. Took out the Mexican representative and Finland as well. So this is it. It's all led up to here. So I'm joined by my co-host.
Alchemist.
Are you hyped for this?
I mean, could you be more hyped for a Tekken Grand Finals? It's one of the oldest rivalries in the game's history.
Insane. That's crazy.
You know, we've got two of the strongest players from their respective countries. We've got Yamasatake versus Rox Gaming's Ni.
This is going to be crazy. I just know.
Ni coming off of that third place finish at the Tekken World Tour Finals. Many had him as the favorite going into it with such a strong year. They fell just short. But he played exceptionally well that weekend. He looked almost unstoppable until he came up to the top 3. Can he keep that form? Take, on the other hand, looking very strong this tournament. Playing that Kazumi, playing that Steve, playing that control style that he's known for. Never really taking big risks and just forcing his opponents into bad situations, limiting their options. I feel like this is going to be a very slow matchup, and I'm very much looking forward to it. The question of choice is, who's Ni going to pick?
I want to see a Mishima or a Brian.
I'm calling it's going to be Kazumi versus Steve, but I want to see the Brian.
That definitely. I want to see a Torn Jet Upper. It's in his contract. What's going on? Oh, Steve Mirror. What is this?
I would not have called this. You got the Steve mirror.
Let's go.
This is one of my favorite mirrors in the game because Steve, like, he's such a flashy character. His moves are just punches. He has very few kicks, but somehow his combos look so swanky.
He's a classic guy. He's English.
And even after the changes to this character in Season 3, many people still favoring him because of the very strong control style of play that his character offers.
Alright, Take went for the easy combo there on the counter hit down forward 2. Didn't want to risk the extension.
You do lose about 20 damage there, but you have the safety in knowing that you will hit that combo every time. And gets that flicker 2, wanting to enforce a mix-up from that flicker stance. Wants to check his opponent's duck in after that back one is blocked.
Ooh, rocket punch.
Ni in rage. The win button comes out, but deflected with that while standing one. Take takes the first round in this Steve mirror.
You think this is your grand finals for any event ever?
No.
Divas Take Steve Mirror?
Not really. But I want to point out, when I watch Take play Steve, his Steve is extremely simple, and not in a bad way. He doesn't really try and set up situations with down 2-1-2 or down forward 2 into like a hard read. He'll just play this solid style of Tekken. But Ni does the exact same thing. Ni, one of those Steve players that loves to use that 1-2-1, no flicker, no peekaboo, just raw, and does it really, really well. Gets that down forward 2, ties it up at 1 round apiece.
The styles are both brick walls. It's like an immovable object versus a unstoppable force. So and this is what you're getting. They're going head to head right now. That's crazy.
He's still going for that forward 2 after the down forward 2 count here. You can do the backstray 1, which is actually 4 more damage, but I guess he wants that specific Oki situation.
So he's back a little bit. Nice. Gets out of the way of the stomp and the punch and punishes him for it.
One thing interesting in this matchup is Steve's punch parries. They're very effective against Steve in the mirror, and he does have that one that activates on frame 3 from Peekaboo. And you can do it manually, you can do it at any time, and a lot of his moves transition into the stance where he can do it and he has access to it.
Jabbing, there's a lot of punches, obviously.
Well, that's what you're going to see in a boxing fight. Gets that while standing 1-2 punish.
I noticed for a few seconds, Take was dashing forward very quickly just to test me, see what he's going to do with this.
A lot of Steve players do like to dash forward. This could be the game-winning combo, and it is. Gets that Sonic Fang. That was actually really, really clean by Ni after losing the first round. Very well done in that Steve mirror. I think he started off a bit shaky, but then he gained control and composure and just took it from there with all the information that he had in that first round. Very well done there by Ni.
We're going to see a character change.
I think we will, but I don't know if it's going to be this early. I think he's going to stick with Steve maybe, but it depends. It depends what he's trying to go for. Maybe he picked the Steve without knowing that Ni was going to pick the character as well.
I believe you. He must, like, if he decided, all right, I'm going to go head-to-head with Ni and he's Steve, I respect that, you know. Oh, he's got, all right, I respect that even more right now. Let's go.
It's not like this matchup is in either character's favor. I mean, it's, it's straight down the middle. If someone tells me otherwise, I need some proof.
Steve's going to win. Steve's going to win. All right, let's go.
Round 1.
We do have a stage change, though. We're in that Dragon's Nest.
This one can come up with some tricky combos for these guys. If they got it against the wall, they can do some different combinations to get some side wall combos. So it looks pretty good.
No
It does a lot of
punish.
damage.
You have to be ready to punish that full crouch launcher. He does have the forward 1+2 or the Sonic Fang that will punish very consistently. And the perfectly timed counter hit by Take gets that right hook into the combo for the wall carry there. Does have wall pressure here. Knee goes for that right weave, trying to get that counter hit. The new moves, we're trying to incorporate new stuff here in that Season 3. Knee does have Rage. Will the Rage Drive come out? Looking for a timing where it will hit. There it is.
Button.
What's the situation after?
Oh,
Take.
get the punish. Could that cost him?
He had the round with that punish. This could be it. Will he go for the Gatling gun? Goes for the Oki
flip.
from the Shoryuken
Down
into
two.
the low. Take committing to
Oh,
that
nice low parry!
Both players lost their chances to close it out, but
can't
Take comes out on top in this first round of the second game. And the quick hook, the left punch straight to the face, gets that counter hit, gets the combo into the Oki from the wall carry there by Knee.
Gets the mid option.
That's the move you use to check people who are fuzzy guarding into a button. And it's very well done there by Take, doing it straight off the bat. Down 4-2 to close it out. Safe homing move, very well done there by Knee. Ties it up at 1 round apiece.
It's pretty close. Oh, nice. Starts the round with a low parry. Ballsy right there.
Yeah, both players are really ready for these low parries. Will he go for the Shoryuken combo again? Decides to go for the Gatling gun. In that situation, Steve has this beatdown where he can do the forward 2. If you do it very fast, it'll hit a grounded opponent, and when the opponent techs, it'll only be -11 on block. But in this situation against Steve, it's not really that good because Steve's I-13 and I-11 punch have the same move. You're going to get while standing 1-2 regardless.
That should close it out at the wall. Sonic Fang. He's playing extremely well right now. Take's keeping up, but he just can't get the end of each round.
And there's that down 4-2. Both players checking with these back ones and down 4-2s. Two of Steve's signature moves for controlling neutral. Both players in the middle of the stage. Take doesn't want to give up that wall position, but somehow lets Knee come in. We're back in the middle of the stage, pressuring him with the peekaboo stance.
Notice most of the pressure isn't coming from attacks, it's just coming from the movement.
Look at the range, the extended hurt box. Gets that back one counter. This could be it. If he goes for the Gatling gun. Oh, no.
And down 2 saves him. 2 rounds apiece. Okay, Take bringing it back. Let's go. Floors are breaking. That's OHS has it right there. They should clean that up.
We still haven't seen a single successful punch parry. The only one that came out was actually a counter hit. That one that hit actually. Goes for that back 2, expecting a duck in that situation. A lot of Steve players do like to dash into that stomp there. Nice punish. So he's using that down 4-2 check. Doesn't want him to weave. Down 4-2, one of the best options Steve has against Steve in the mirror. Stopping him from weaving in either direction.
It's getting intense.
Neither
of them have rage.
Yep,
So
they're not overcommitting. Goes for that rocket punch.
really at rage. Take will have the blue very soon if he continues.
All it takes is one counter hit. Who's going to get it?
Oh, Knee. Here we go.
That situation there where he done the while standing 2, the while standing 1-2. Sorry, Take takes that game, ties it up a 1 round piece. I want to go back to that situation where he punished with the while standing 1-2 and he went into that quarter circle forward 2, that new low that he got in Season 3. In that situation, use that if you expect your opponent to do a crouch jab, because it actually beats crouch jab in that situation.
Okay.
And some people just like to stand block because, Steve at +3, he might get a back 1 if you button, you get that counter hit. But if they crouch jab, it'll beat the back 1. So in that situation, he went for that quarter circle forward 2, where it evades the crouch jab. Very well done there by Take. We're going into this third game. In the Steve mirror, Knee deciding not to change. And this is the character that he plays in top 3 at TWT.
Another one gets counted this event.
See, same situation as last time. Goes for the flicker 2. Very quick round there by Knee.
18 seconds. That was just straight pressure on Take.
The best thing against Steve is if you want to prevent a comeback, you want to never let him get into rage, because the moment he gets into rage, you have to be scared of that rage drive. You have to be scared of counter hits. And obviously, if you have your back to the wall, he can mind game you with that stomp.
And that is an actual legitimate strategy sometimes, where you're going to end your combo, you're not going to kill, but you're going to put them in rage. Sometimes you'll end it early, not give them that damage, so then maybe your next combo completely takes them out. You don't want to give them that opportunity.
You do that against specific characters.
Yeah.
Knee gets that get up kick punish on that beatdown attempt by Take. He does have rage. Will we see that rage drive comes out? There it is. It is blocked. No button there by Take. Does not get counted. Ducking in his face. And the down forward one. The classic safe poke to close out the round. Ties it up at 1 round apiece.
1 game apiece too. This is getting... I can't even believe this right now. Take is doing amazingly. He's been playing crazy at this event, and now it's coming out with Steve.
I think, so Nee is still using the very few moves that he started off with. Take trying to explore new options. He's going with that instant punch parry, using it, trying to get a timing where Nee might do a back one. And there it is, the flicker jabs, trying to pressure with them. Down for 2, caught him ducking in to trying to pressure with that low, and gets the low parry. This could be it. Gets into the wall, just enough, gets that Sonic Fang, and...
Damn, this is crazy. All right. Starts with down forward 2, knee ready. Punch parry.
That's the first one we've seen. Okay, for those who don't know, that specific punch parry with Steve, the only thing guaranteed after it is a forward 2, but it is legitimately a just frame. If your opponent is using that quick low after it, you have to tech right to avoid it. Tech left does not, tech right does, because it's 2 frames faster to tech right. And there's that punch parry, still trying for it. Goes into the down 2. Nee does have rage. There's the rage drive. Uses the first hit of the while standing to mess with his timing with those mental frame advantages.
Still alive.
Take in rage uses that 1-2-1 to try and work his way in there. Down 1 into the right weave. We're down to the clutch.
Oh, down 2 to snuff out the rage drive.
And that rage drive, the rage drive 1 does have an auto block feature, but it does not block lows. And Nee recognized that. Expected the rage drive so that Take can get that wall pressure, but Nee not having any of that. Ties it up for 2 rounds apiece. Going with that new low. That low is actually minus 18 on block. Those very rarely launch, but Steve can launch it since his fastest while standing launcher is I-18.
While standing 1. And Nee trying to push Take against the wall, but Take's movement, his twitch starts just too good right now.
See, last time he did that peekaboo 1-2, he went for the punch parry. This time he went for a duck, maybe to check timing on a counter hit. Doesn't work out for Take. Nee with that down forward 1 check. And he's going for the down forward 2 now. Both players trying not to let each other weave in either direction. Weave, a very deadly tool if used correctly. Gets the counter hit, drops the combo. If he had the actual combo there, that would have been the round. And the
there it is.
1-1. Take takes the lead in this Steve mirror. 2-1 over Nee.
Will Nee change character at some point? It's like, no, this is my character. You ain't doing this thing.
Okay, we're talking about Steve right now. Let's talk about which characters do well against Steve on paper. The characters that most people think do well against Steve are Katarina, Marduk, and we have Law.
Yeah.
But I think most people would agree that one of the hardest matchups for Steve is that Yoshimitsu because of the flash. Nee does play many characters, but right now deciding to stick with that Steve in this matchup. Very interesting. Even this far into the set, this is the first to 5. You'd think he wanted to go for that Brian. He's been saying he likes to play Brian in the long set, but deciding to stick with that Steve. Gets that combo off the quick ball. That's the Gatling gun ender. Using that backswing goes 0 on block to create pressure at the wall, and the rocket punch to close out the round.
Excellent. Okay, going to that parry, he expected Nee to press a button at the start of the round, I guess. Lord dashing in his face.
And Steve not one of those characters that can really punish duck transitions. He doesn't have like a big mid that's generally safe without getting a counter hit.
Whoa!
And the backswing flow!
That's the Temi special right there. Take it to the wall, Mar drops it.
How often do you see that hit? That's his highest damage launch. It does 33 damage on its own.
Well, that's it. Oh, it doesn't let the whole string rip.
Nee on his last life.
Ooh, rocket punch. Oh, Take's got some momentum right now. He's figured something out, and it's really working for him.
Commits to the full string. See, he just stood there. He was expecting a stomp, perhaps. Because when you do get close, that's when Steve wants to use the stomp. In other situations, you know, the Steve player has to either push you to the wall or dash so close that, you know, you risk making it too predictable. But in that situation, Take put himself in a position where that was...
Oh, he's going for it. He got it.
And he finally commits to the combo. Will get to the wall here with the Sonic Fang. Drops the combo. Wants to go for the 1-2 perhaps into the Sonic Fang there again.
Oh.
They trade the classic Steve mirror situation. Both players going for that back one on the same frame.
Back against the wall. Nee's coming out though.
Okay, not pressuring him, not trying to push him towards the wall. Nee does have that rage drive. Used it, but interrupted once again with that while standing one. We saw Take win the same way in the first game.
Excellent.
The first game that he won, sorry.
Snuffing out these rage drives all over the place. It's one right now.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, there's no winners bracket, there's no losers bracket. This is a straight first of 5. Whoever wins 5 matches first wins the whole thing.
If this was a regular tournament, it'd be over.
And he's still sticking with Steve.
I respect that. This is very neither. Oftentimes, especially in the long sets, he'll just stick with the character and just win or lose. Nice low parry. All right. The pendulum swung back into this direction right now. Let's see.
You see that he's sidestepping right before that duck one for the low parry combo, and that's because you can get a bit more damage with that back one instead of the instant flicker combo there. And gets that cancel into the Sonic Fang, down for 2 to close it out. Lee bringing it back after losing 3 rounds straight in the last game.
What is it that you think he's found, maybe?
I don't know if he's found anything. He's just changing the rhythm in the way he's approaching neutral. Right now, he was using a lot of down 4-2s and a lot of back ones. They weren't working out because he just couldn't find Take's timing. Take too reserved. But now he's getting all these low parries, and I wonder what he's looking for in neutral to get these low parries. And this should be it. Gatling gun to close it out.
I wish I could see that round again. He just hit so many things perfectly, like consecutively. That was crazy.
And I feel like neither player is using down 2-1 situation to condition either player. They should be using it a lot more, but one of the things to note is if Steve does commit to down 2-1-2, you can always right weave or you can duck forward and launch the other Steve player. But it is a hard read. See, there's that down 2-1 there that goes into the right weave, trying to get that counter hit, pushing him to the wall, goes for the punch parry, a punch parry of his own to counter it there.
Oh, misses the power crush. Down 4-2 all day.
You know when you're trading down 4-2s, that's a Steve mirror right there. Take in rage, breaks the throw. Will we see the rage drive come out? Knee about a touch away from getting rage himself. And the quick back one!
Wow, you got 3 rounds. Just like that. You got 3 rounds? Alright. Hold my stick, hold my stick.
And he's taking a sip of his coffee. Just
Is that
like
Starbucks again? Alright.
That's the killer instinct right there. So yeah, Take took 3 rounds straight in the previous game, and Knee just bringing it back.
He's still a game ahead though. He's got a little bit of room to move. At this point, I hope he stays with Steve. I'm enjoying this. This is a pretty good set. They're both learning about each other and applying new things every time, new layers.
We do have to remember Take does have that Kazumi, he has that Paul, he has a few other characters. But I don't know if he'd want to pick Kazumi into Steve. Many people think that's not a great matchup for Kazumi, but I think he's going to stick with Steve, and he does. We're just getting a stage change, and we got that abandoned temple.
Alright, let's go. Low-key though, I would like to see a Brian mirror, just for the fun of it, but obviously not the best idea right now. This Steve mirror is going pretty good.
One thing to note about Take's Steve is if you watch him at the wall, he very rarely does what other Steve players do, where it's a 50-50 or a mix-up at the wall with the rocket launcher, with the stomp. He generally lets his opponent get away from the wall and then just pressure them, try and find counter hit timing or something like that.
It's funny because that's the opposite to his Kazumi.
Yeah.
Kazumi definitely wants to keep them there and mix them up.
And now pressuring with these jabs is Take.
Down 4-2.
You can do something like a down 4-2 into button. Obviously it's unsafe, but you can do it if you expect a slow button from your opponent. Nice break on the 2 throw there by Take.
Back ones for days.
Still going for that punch parry. Punch parry's own. One of the few non-punch moves Steve has, that elbow launcher. -10 on block. Does have some pushback, so Steve does have...
Oh, sidestepping the rage drive. That was excellent. What a read.
You know, when you get those as Steve play, you know, you're happy with that. Getting that sidestep punish with that rage drive. Goes for the plus frames with the while running 2. Commits to the second. Nice punish by Knee. Into the low. Knee very rarely goes into stance after that back 1-2 punish. A lot of players do like to go into the stance and mix up. Knee very rarely does so, and he likes to go for that while running 2 or the down 1 mix up there. Gets that rocket launcher. This should be the round for Knee.
Alright. But again, Take's still a game ahead, but these guys are still going back and forth.
You're still using that flicker too. The main reason you use that is to check your opponent's ducking after they get hit or they block back 1 on normal hit. Oh, sorry, if they block it, obviously block. Gets that low parry again into the duck 1 combo. Will he get to the wall hit? Goes for the instant pick. What's for Oki? Goes for that tackle into the stomp. That's the first one we've seen.
You tried to pick him up there with that
Alright, this
combo.
This is the no respect round. Absolutely no respect. Just going for them stomps all day. He still has wall pressure. Goes for that 1-2-1 into the while standing 1 knee with a 2-1 round lead in this 6th game. In this Steve mirror. We've had a Steve mirror throughout the whole way so far. It looks like it's going to go like this all the way to the end so far.
I ain't mad at that. Oh, kind of hit back 1. He's not going to get it to the wall, I don't think. No, not quite. But Take's back is to the wall. Nice break.
See, last round was the stomp round. This is the mid round. He's going to go for all rocket launchers at the wall. Take sidestepping away from the wall. Goes for that Sonic Fang. I think he expected a whiff punish there, but it was too late.
Oh, went for the conversion.
A bit late on the counter, gets those plus frames and the back one, showing no respect for those plus frames he got from that running two.
Leaving it up. 3 apiece. Wow.
Now, will we see that character select? Will we see that character change?
Let's see. A lot of... He's thinking about it. He's thinking about something.
So Nee has won the last 2 games in the Steve Mirror. Looks like he goes straight back into it.
He's committed.
I'm honestly still so surprised that the Grand Finals is a Steve Mirror.
Yeah.
I would not have called this on any given day. Though these 2 guys do play Steve, I would not have expected them to play Steve into Steve as a matchup. Poking away at him with the peekaboo, goes for that throw. Nice break by Nee. I think that's the first throw Take has attempted. Nee obviously went for the 1+2 and the 2 throw earlier in this set. Pressuring him once again.
Dashing in his face. Nice punish. That's the rocket punch. They're just always just sitting at range 0 and then going back to range 1 and coming back in and trading again.
And there's that counter hit with the punch parry, gets the combo and takes the first round in this 7th set. This could be the decisive game in this set. Yeah, that quick hook. We'll get him to the wall here. What's the combo? Wants to go for that back sway 1. Using the Oki there. Take trying to step away from the wall. Does not want to deal with the pressure. Nee's shown that he likes to stomp at the wall. Will he commit to 50-50 there, or will he push him away from the wall? Take does. Does have rage. Is the rage drive going to come out? There it is.
There it is, yep. Take's style right now is just a lot of fuzzy ducks, a lot of twitch ducks, just to avoid a lot of Steve strings. He knows them well. That was a sick back sway.
See, as we saw there, Take did the down 2-1-2 string. He did not finish it, but Nee tested it. The next time this situation comes up, Take has to remember, hey, my opponent buttoned here. Can I cash in on that last hit? And he tried it in the same round. You should never do that.
But no punish though. That was pretty interesting. I don't know if Nee was like, is he going to do it though? Maybe. I don't know. Let's just duck and see what happens.
I think, honestly, he should have saved that for a future round. He had too little life to work with. Yes, it was a big risk and a big reward, but it wasn't worth it in my opinion. Goes for that Gatling gun there.
Doesn't finish it.
Yeah, the off axis there didn't help him.
Let's see.
Take always trying to work his way away from the wall. Nee not letting him get away for free. Comes in with the low. That's a low parry timing that Nee had earlier, but this time Take changes it slightly. No low parry there from Nee.
Take's double stepping is doing a lot of work for him, covering a lot of space and being able to avoid a lot of things with that is really good for him.
Using that new low, goes for the peekaboo forward 2. One of those moves that's really hard to punish. It is actually minus 13 to 12, but Steve does not punish him consistently with any move.
That should be the round right there. Sonic Bang. Whoa.
And Nee finally takes the lead in this Steve Mirror. I think this is the first time that this has happened.
That's so weird to say, right? Like, Nee's luckily taking the Steve Mirror out there. This is crazy. Take's doing amazingly, but Nee, he's got them reads. It's a long set, and he's known for these.
And he's still not committed to the second hit of that shoulder string there. Goes to the low. It's interesting that he decided to duck the Albatross down 2 there. Very rarely used in neutral like that. A bit late on the counter for the Sonic Bang.
Oh, could it be Nee's game? There it is.
And
The
this
low
should be it.
parry.
So Nee up 4 games to 3 over Take. We could be going into what is the final game of this IeSF 2019 Tekken 7 World Championships. Once again, this is a first of 5, also known as best of 9. Will Japan take it or will Korea take it? Take sticking with the Steve all the way till the end.
Respect. Japan is on a roll. They won TWT last week, so let's see if Take can bring another medal home. But Nee standing in his way. That's a formidable
I'm honestly in
opponent.
shock right now. Like, I'm very happy that we have a Steve Mirror, but I expected Kazumi here against Nee.
You're like, they're both your characters. It's a treat for you either way. Double the fun.
Goes to that flicker 2 once again. One of Steve's strong mids in neutral. You can use it to mix up timing because it is slightly slower than his other moves. And it is a counter hit launcher now in Season 3.
Okay, just barraging. Very nice. It should be the round right there. Excellent.
The hard commit with that back 2 gets him the round. Take takes the first round here in this 8th game that we have in this Steve Mirror.
And it starts off with the lows. Albatross 2 in the low as well. Trade, that should
He still gets a combo.
Yep.
Fortunately, he was left in a position where he wasn't too far with that down forward 1 with. Still going for that backslay 1, wants the Oki from it. Most Steve combos have very specific Oki situations, but most of them have really good Oki. Knee choosing that one specifically for that rocket launcher on Ted.
Following Knee across the wall, does not want to let him get out. But no break on the throw.
There's 50-50. Arcade decides to stay down, and Knee recognizes that if he had back rolled, he would have gotten hit by the Sonic Fang or the forwards 1+2 there. And obviously Take knows that, being a Steve player himself, decided to stay down. Finally gets the stomp on the duck transition there from Take, while standing 1-2 punish into the rocket launcher.
Pushing a bit, goes for the 2. Oh, he's trying to catch him.
Yeah, he's starting to throw out them punch parries, and there's the low parry timing. Knee has got that ready, gets the low. What's the combo here?
Oh, not quite. Can bring it back here. Nice block. Oh,
and he's on match point. He is on tournament point.
Oh boy,
Knee.
let's go.
Can he take this?
Japan, send Take your energy right now, and Koreans, give Knee your energy.
That is not a good start. Gets the combo, gets him, pushes him to the wall with that peekaboo forward 2-1. Take trying to sidestep, trying to weave away from the wall. Nice punish there on the skyscraper.
This is it. This could be it for Take.
Goes for the stomp, and this could be the combo.
I don't think it's going to kill him. He's going to have a little bit of health to work
But he's
with.
going to have a great position here.
Oh, steps on him! And the
down
down 2!
The down 2 to close it out in this Steve Mirror. Korea, Knee is your champion here for 2019's IeSF Tekken 7 World Championships. Very well done by him, winning that Steve Mirror over Take, over Japan. What a great set.
This music is epic, though. I'm like, man, if I ever win an event, this is the music I want to play right now. That was incredible, and no one could say they expected what we just saw.
No.
Steve Mirror going that deep into the set, like Knee versus Take. That's incredible.
And what a way to end such a storied rivalry throughout the history of Tekken. We have Knee from Korea versus Take from Japan. You know, throughout history, they've been the strongest countries in Tekken competitively. You know, these days we've seen a lot more countries come up, but when you look back in time and you see who's done well competitively, we have these two countries on top, and Knee, representing the South Korean flag, is your champion here for 2019 IeSF. Very well done, and congratulations to him. I don't know what to say. Like, that Steve Mirror was amazing to watch.
People got to study that. That was incredible.
The thing is, the way he played the matchup was very, very unique, because at the start, he played quite slow. He was letting Take do his thing. He picked up on the low parry timing, and when that started happening, the I can't even talk anymore. The momentum changed.
Yeah.
And when the momentum changed, Knee just had a free route to the wins.
It's incredible. Like, I honestly, anyone who wants to play Steve, or even just wants to learn to play against Steve, needs to watch that set. I learned so much stuff on my own, and I'm not even a Steve player, but definitely I will utilize some of the information I got from there. That was a masterclass right there.
And that is it, ladies and gentlemen, for your 2019 Tekken 7 World Championship here at IeSF Seoul, South Korea. Knee, once again, is your champion, winning it over Japan's Take. Thank you all for tuning in. That's it from us. Take care.
Have a nice night.